Look, we be coming in mass to mass. You ask anybody, it's real. The jab general is seminal at keeping it real and keeping it real and swing when I'm getting the feeling. No Burj Khalifa ceiling, we back in the building, take them high. I'm down for the challenge, what's up? For the crown, stick around when the battle is tough. Where you at? Right here if you looking for us and what I look like giving it up. If you wanna shine, you wanna shine, then double down. We rise and grind, we in your city, in your town. Tell them what's up. Tell them what's up. Oh, had to tell them what's up. I can't tell them what's up. Where we at? Steady sparring with my kinship. If I lose, I'm coming back with a vengeance. If I win, I knew I would, don't mention it. I prophesize with penmanship, and that's real. Giving up on me is something that I never do. It's for the love, we never do it for revenue. You break the mold, you coming out of the better you in your bag, then I'm getting up in my luck's true. In my duffel and cleaning up at the scuffle to find your piece of the puzzle. You gotta keep with the bustle. The hustle is never ending, so muscles is never thinning. It's a fact, either win or we running back. So tell where you at.
Wait, sorry, I saved you from a family gathering? What the fuck does that mean? You're just looking at your phone. That's not a viable excuse. You can't tell them that your streamer went live and that why you have to go. It's not a real excuse to get out. It's the same thing as like playing Fruit Ninja on your phone. It's not.
Cause I don't never say never, so quitting is not an option. I'll keep on going forever, know that we don't skip days and always stay on the grind. Say you want it, then you get it in time. If you wanna shine, you wanna shine.
Double down.
Double down. We rise and grind, we in your city, in your town. Tell them what's up. Tell them what's up. Oh, had to tell them what's up. I can't tell them what's up. If you wanna shine, you wanna shine. Then double down. We rise and grind, we in your city, in your town. So tell them what's up. Tell them what's up. Oh, had to tell them what's up. I can't tell them what's up.
Shout out to Nicholas Gray, Nicklaus Gray, who made that song for like a fucking Smash Bros tournament trailer, and I thought it was fire. I heard it today on the VGBC stream, and I was like, yeah, that's just heat. So I DM'd him about it, and then I got the full song, and then I just played it. We rise and grind, we double down. What's good, everybody? Good to see you, Schmeckledorp, Star Scream, Dr. Battle. How's everybody Saturday? Kaled Kaled Twitch. Thank you for the prime. Some Awe, thank you for the prime. Steve Chin, thank you for the 10 months. Explode the World, thank you for the prime. Yo, Casa Varts, thank you for the 13 months. Sir Octopus, thank you for the 17 months. Yes, I understand that there are some Bionicle related memes. Actually, well, hold on. Remind me in like 10 minutes. I got some Bionicle news. I got some actually cool Bionicle news, which is like almost an oxymoron. I have actually interesting, compelling, powerful, and worthwhile Bionicle related news, and you're not going to believe it. I am not looking like Tren Crom because as all Bionicle lore experts know, no one has seen Tren Crom. He's never appeared in the lore. Do you ever think people call you Glizzy Hands due to your personality rather than your appearance? Oh, your hands personality. So you're saying my hands aren't larger than normal, but they have a personality that is like that of a hot dog. They give off Glizzy Hands energy. Don't really think so. I don't really think so. In all ways except physical, you are Glizzy Hands. Well, that, that's a start. It's a start because I think you should admit that I have normal sized hands. When is more Baldur's Gate? That's a great question, and I don't have an answer for you. So don't ask it again, motherfucker. I don't know. Whatever me and Stan. The problem with Stan's is that he streams early, and I, a self-respecting person, stream late as God intended. Nobody designed Twitch streaming to happen between the hours of fucking 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. All right? Those are God's hours. And this is a godless craft. Sup goat Mata Nui may bless your day. Thank you. Thank you. Just if we ever meet in person, don't say that. That's my only request. If you want to tell me Mata Nui bless your day right now, that's fine. That's cool. I'm with you. Mata Nui, bless up. But if I ever meet you in person and you're like, oh, hey, Atrioc, like the stream or whatever, just leave Mata Nui out of it. Because, like recently I was at the mall with Ari and two guys came up and they were very nice. And they said some nice things about the stream and they were like, hey, cool to meet you, which was really cool. But I was worried the whole time because Ari was there that they were going to start saying GH or, whatever, whatever. Thankfully they didn't. But I don't want my worry to be that there's going to be Bionicle related bless ups. Let's build my brother Bionicles, that is. Anyway, I have good Bionicle news. It's coming. Incredible, but I do. Slug the Berry, thank you for the prime. D-Lam, thank you for the 17 months. Commander Cake, thank you for the prime. Pei Tong, thank you for the 4. Can I get some 07s in the chat for Matoro? This is kind of why I put a buffer day after Bionicle. Because I figured if I do a 9-hour Bionicle stream, we're going to be hearing too much about Bionicle the next day. So it's good to have a buffer day where we're not doing 07s from Matoro. Though his sacrifice was great. We all watched the VOD, my goat. You did? You watched the 9-hour Bionicle VOD where I reacted? You can never hear too much twice. It's the Hubert.
I brought Maya.
And my whiff. 1-year anniversary. Oh, shit.
Hey, look at the dog. He's very sweet.
She's going to be scared of the mic breaking.
Hey, look at that Joel. I love it.
I do. Also, I like that you like it. I'm not a huge fan of Jolers myself.
You don't like... Wait, where's the focus here?
Babe, the focus just never works. I don't know what to tell you.
Babe, look at this dog, though.
Yeah, she's very dog. That's for sure.
Very good smelling dog.
Very sweet dog. Very air tasting dog. Babe, make her shake so they can see that she's more than just beauty,
Shake her like...
She's brains. No, do not shake the Man, we're gonna get a linity, dude. All right, hey, shake.
Oh, that's what you mean.
She's not gonna do it because she's scared.
Again.
Huh?
Just say her name.
Maya, shake. She's nervous. It's an unfamiliar situation.
Oh gosh, she's.
Here, I'll hold it. Okay.
Wait, I don't want like a slip here.
Let me hold her. Let's see if she can do it. All right, let's go. Come on.
Okay, Maya, shake. Okay, how about this? High five. She wants to, but she's definitely very nervous.
She's very nervous.
She's a pussy dog.
She's extremely scared. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
She's nervous about the chat,
Yeah.
They're gonna judge her.
Wait, you're blocking her face.
Oh, sorry. Try one more time. One more high five.
Hey, Maya, you comfy? You want to give me a high five?
Good girl! Wow.
Good girl. Okay, that's her reward is a release.
You are truly a star.
Good job, Hubert. Do you think that's going to be like a clip? Because I want to see that.
No. I don't think it's going to be a clip. No, I don't think her five's going to be a clip. No, babe, I don't. But you know what? You can go clip it yourself if you want. You can go to the VOD. And then you can have it. Yes, I will show it to you.
Okay.
I do not think it'll be a clip. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Jim the North, thank you for the 18 months. Yo, the 810 stream was Pog. Keep it up, Boomer. Just rude. Just so rude way to say it. Yeah. Also, what do you mean keep it up? Like, keep up more Bionicle fucking lore? That's it. It literally was start to finish. We hit the prelude to the fucking end of the series. Mr. Melmnot, thank you for the prime. Dylan Sharp with the 40 bomb, 40 months.
We truly live in an age of wonders.
Wrong one. That's not what I wanted to pick, but anyway, salute. I think the Bionicle stream was your best stream ever. Hope to see more of that. We're not, I'm telling you right now so you guys don't get the wrong impression. Every Bionicle day, no, I don't want to say it like this because you'll cut it short. We will not be watching that again. That is not a yearly tradition. Okay? There will be no more Bionicle viewing because one time is all you need. My mic is quiet. Maybe your speakers are quiet. Huh? You ever think about that? Because if I watch this VOD back, it sounds fine to me. What about the movies, though? I just don't think so. Because I already know the lore. So it's spoiled for me. Hey, man, it's like 4 a.m. and my screen is too bright. Can you turn off the lights? No, no. No, I cannot do that. Atrioc, maybe we take Bionicle quizzes every August 10th just to freshen up. Maybe I could take one Bionicle quiz every August 10th. That's fine. I genuinely think some aspects of Bionicle lore are now permanently lodged in my brain. I do believe that I will never forget the sacrifice of Makoto. I do think that's the case. That's going to be in there. That's going to be good. I do think Paraka, go Paraka is like a soundbite that's not going to escape my... That's in there. I do think, you know... maybe that's it. Because the rest of it is already fading away. Oh, I'll never forget that Akmau is a devious guy. I still have these notes. I'll never forget that Akmau's a devious guy. That's a fact. And that about cover. I mean, I hit the main fucking... I hit the main... There should be a license exam for Bionicle lore. What would that license be used for? You understand me? What if you did pass it and get your license? When would that be checked or sex? Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. That makes sense. That actually tracks. Surprised you remembered Trend Crom wasn't canonically shown. Bro, I remember a lot from that fucking video. Speaking of which, I might as well give the announcement. Here's the announcement about Bionicle, because I want to move on from Bionicle topics at some point, and so it's a good cap. Here is the announcement about Bionicle. The creator of the 9-hour Bionicle film is a YouTuber and man named Duckbricks. After the film, I went to his video and left a comment saying, good vid, thumbs up, after I watched all 9 hours of it. We connected via Twitter, and now he is going to come on the stream tomorrow and show off his Bionicle collection and answer questions about Bionicle lore and his general obsession with Lego. He has like one of the world's largest Lego collections. So normally I don't stream on Sunday, but for Duckbricks, I would make an absolute exception. Because I just think the guy is interesting. Extremely interesting. So we'll be doing that at 4 p.m. Pacific tomorrow. Locked, cocked, and loaded. Which is cool. I mean, it seems cool. I'm just excited. It's cool. What is this sudden Bionicle obsession? There is no Bionicle obsession from my end. I'll tell you that. There's none from my end. But I am... After such a resounding success of 810, I had decided I want to talk Duckbricks. So that's that. That's tomorrow. That's it. No more. I don't think anything else with Bionicle other than, you know, yesterday was my anniversary with my lovely wife, Ari. And it was a very beautiful night and we had a great time. But at dinner, you know, I had just watched 9 hours of Bionicle. So like, some of the things I'm thinking about that I want to talk about is like how much Bionicle lore is weird. But I obviously don't, you know, it's a tough conversation. It's not a great icebreaker, right? I don't want to bring it up. But it's definitely fresh in my head. Like you know, you can't spend your entire fucking Thursday watching Bionicle, and then on Friday not have some Bionicle related topics in your brain. You touched the mask of life and were cursed with knowledge. So what I did actually was I took my phone out, because at a classy place like that, they expect you to take your phone out. So it's like, you know, there's more entertainment per table. And then I just put the video on, and I didn't have headphones, so I just put it on blast, full blast, so other tables can enjoy. I didn't want to not share. And then I propped it up so that we could both watch it together. And we did that for, I mean, we finished eating our meal after, I don't know, 45 minutes. And I stayed for another 3 hours. The waiters were more than happy to oblige, constantly refilling my water, because they obviously wanted to keep popping by and asking Bionicle related questions. So, actually king behavior. Now that you... Okay, wait. Make sure. Are you actually going to be doing a Hitman showcase at Up Gamers next month? Nice try, bitch. Nice try, bitch. Oh, what's Up Gamers? Oh. It was close. It was close because I thought about it for a second, but... very clever. Very clever. Actually, not that clever. Such a low bar for cleverness here, but you exceeded it. Tonight's Get Smarter Saturdays. So tonight is all about watching interesting and compelling videos that we can learn from, including the new Salmonella, which is probably going to be our kickoff video. That's the plan. Coffeezilla will probably watch. You know, any shit like that. But we're just going to vibe and chill for a bit before then. And I do want to say, yeah, so Bionicle Guy, Duck, actually, I think calling him Bionicle Guy is a disservice. Because even briefly looking into it, Duck Bricks has the largest Lego collection like I've ever seen of all Legos. He's the guy. He's just the Lego guy. He's like the Lego fucking OG. And so he's going to come on and he's going to stream it. Not stream it, but he's going to call me from his collection, so that we can ask questions and see different things. So it's pretty sick. It's pretty fucking sick. I'm very excited. That's tomorrow at 4. Anniversary went well. So let me tell you. So here's the deal. Okay. Interesting anniversary story. So it's my first anniversary. It's been 1 year since our wedding. And obviously I wanted to do something, you know, fun and nice and have a good time. But first one. And Ari is, one of the things I love about Ari is she's very, 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 very not materialistic. In fact, to the point where it's like, she doesn't like flashy stuff. But I wanted to like, you know, so I just picked a really nice, but not like, I don't know, like an exclusive, but small and not gaudy Japanese restaurant. Like, it just really nice. Like, it has a long reservation or whatever. And I planned ahead of that. So we did that first, all right? And that went well. That went great. You know, it has all these really fancy dishes, and the chef comes out and talks to you, and it was cool. That was fine. But then I wanted to plan something special for afterwards, all right? Atrioc, you should let chat plan a date for you and Ari. Okay, well, what would you guys do differently so far? Just right off the bat. You know, just so I can compare notes here. So far, I've taken her to a nice restaurant, you know, that in that she likes, okay? So you would have said Starbucks. Bionicle lore, Chuck E. Cheese, Starbucks. Taco Bell, Mickey D's, pizza and a drive-in. Hitman runs. So for our anniversary, I sat her down and started running Hitman. Just to show her that I started explaining the different maps and anyway, someone said strip club, so interesting. So let me get to the second part. So the dinner was really nice, and we get some drinks, and we're feeling good, and it's fun. You know, we're talking, going well. And then I have this plan for a little post-dinner fun anniversary thing to do together. Because Ari much more than me. I'm not like I'm tough, all right? Don't worry about me. But she likes horror movies way more than I do. She likes scary movies. She's always watching, and I'm not as much of a fan of scary movies as she. Obviously, she chatted for it. Whatever. She loves horror. And she likes haunted houses, and she likes all that stuff. So, like Halloween's probably her favorite holiday. She likes dressing. She likes making costumes. All right. So, my idea is I find this place that's called The Basement, I guess. Let me see if I can. And it's like the highest rated horror escape room that has like, it's got like an actor in the room. It's got like, it's like scary, but it's like, and it's supposed to be like, so that's the idea. I found the one that's for couples. So it's just us. It's like nobody else in the room. There's nobody that's going to like be annoying. It's just like us in an escape room. She's going to be spooked. It's going to be fun. All right. So we do that after dinner, but like, it turns out I didn't really think about it when I was booking it, but it's like not really near us. Like when it's in LA, it's like the outskirts, the outskirts of LA. And so after dinner, we're like driving and it's like pretty far. It's like, I don't know. I mean, we're going pretty fast. I'm going like fucking fast because I have a time I have to hit. I have to go there. And it's like, I don't know, 40 minutes, 35, 40 minutes. Like it's not close. All right. And so, and we don't get pulled over. Pulled over would be crazy. And we're driving and she doesn't know what it is. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. And she's like, the whole way, she's like kind of guessing. And I'm like, it's frustrating because you never want, your partner in that situation to be guessing because they'll end up guessing something that's cooler. Do you know what I'm saying? I was like, babe, don't start guessing because they never know, right? They're always gonna. It's their entire imagination versus whatever thing you could actually plan. So you don't want them to be guessing. Now, obviously, anything she is guessing, I'm like thinking in my mind, that's a good idea for next time. But one of the things she guesses that she seems really excited about was like, I think Universal has like a haunted horror night or something. And she guessed that and she was very excited when she said it. So I was like, oh, that's good. That's a good sign because this is like even cooler than that. This is like much cooler than that. So that was good. So I was feeling pretty good about it. But I don't tell her. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. But she's like, what is this? Like, because we're getting so far out of the city. We're in the boonies now and we're still driving. And like, and it's late. It's like we had dinner. We stayed late at the dinner. It's getting to like, I don't know, 11 p.m. It's dark. And we're driving. And she's like, what the hell could this be? And then we pull up finally at the basement. I wonder if I can find a Google Maps of it. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to show you exactly. Imagine this, but at night. Okay. So it doesn't even have a sign. Okay. So, it's not leaking my address or anything. No, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this. I'll just take a screenshot just to make sure that I'm not like Google Mapsing my fucking Addy. Okay. So it doesn't have a sign. So we pull up and she's trying to guess the whole time what I'm bringing her to. And it's imagine this at night. So all you can see is the one lit up sign on the right. The place we're going is the one on the left. But all you can see is the sign on the right. And I'm like, here we are. Oh, wait. Wait, fuck. Wait. Wait. I lost the chat. It's an adult factory outlet, bro. It's like a fucking dildo store. Is there a fucking... Wait, where's the other chat? It's like... it's like, happy anniversary. I brought you fucking across town to like a low budget... And you know why I love her? I love her so much because she was like genuine. She was like, oh, cool. You know, she like ran with it. And I was like, babe, no. This place. Anyway, so we go in the basement, which is extremely creepy. And we get inside. Actually, I mean, it's fine. It's like obviously for groups and parties and work things. The main area is fine. But then the one we chose was called like the elevator shaft. Okay. And so they take us and they give us like this long safety thing or whatever. And it's like how, you know, whatever you do, if you're like crawling through a tunnel, don't stick your head up. And I didn't look too much into this because I didn't want to be spoiled. So I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Okay, I don't know. But they're like, yeah, very dangerous. Don't stick your head up for any reason. Okay, so then they just leave, and we're in a room, and it plays this video of like a guy trapped in an elevator shaft, like bleeding to death, and he's like, you know, I mean, he's obviously not Tom Cruise or whatever, but he's acting his heart out that he's getting fucking murdered. So it's like creepy, you know? And they start to get creepy, and then they shut this big door behind you, and you go through and it shuts behind you, and you're in an elevator shaft. You're like locked in this creepy old flickering lights dark elevator shaft. And and it's like figure your way out, you know? It's like, you know, and again, I at the beginning, I'm like, okay, whatever. It's just gonna have fun, like puzzles. But they do a pretty good job of the atmosphere. Like it's one of the best escape rooms I've been to in terms of like effort put in on theming and stuff. And so, but we're only in this small elevator, and I figured the whole thing was in there. So we're like looking through the walls, and like there's an access panel, and we're like looking through it, and we find a key, and we're like messing with the dials or whatever, making progress, and it's fun. But then this panel in the bottom opens up. And it's like a little cramped, dark tunnel with a trolley in the bottom and water rushing. It's like water rushing into the floor, water rushing in the trolley, and it's very obvious that we have to go through there to get the next thing. So it's like, wow, this is not what I expected. So obviously she's actually scared. Like she's not actually scared, I think, but she's scared. She's like, I'm scared. So I go in and we figure out the thing to turn the pipe or whatever, or the puzzle. So the water's not falling directly on me, but I have to lay down like this on like a trolley. Like it's like a tiny little cramped trolley and there's no light. It's like really dark, only a little green light. And I'm laying down flat. And the only way to move is there's like a rope, and I have to pull it to move the wheel. So I can't see where I'm going behind me. Only she can see it, and it's dark. Yeah, we had to sign a waiver. And if I stick my head up, like my head would actually get hit. Like it's actually pretty cramped. So it is pretty cool. It is kind of cool. And there's like water dripping, and obviously there's like little compressed air or something because it like sprays on me. And so it's like, ah. And I go all the way to the end, and like they've set up you know, it's fake, but it's a skeleton. It's a skeleton of a guy that died, and he's got like a work jacket on, and I have to like rifle through his fucking pockets to find like a diagram and a key of, you know, of what the puzzle solution is. So I'm going all the way down to the end, and then when I get there, there's like a little panel thing with like a warning on it, and it's like panel only will work if access panel or if maintenance shaft is completely shut and sealed. So I have to yell back to her, and she can't even see me. Again, I'm so far down this tunnel because I saw it from reverse. I'm so far down this tunnel, she cannot see me. She's yelling at me, but it's pitch dark. So I'm yelling to her, she's yelling to me, but we can't see each other. And it's the end of this little, it's very, okay, I'm not kidding, it's a small tunnel. I wish I had like a picture of it. I wonder if there's like a good fucking, I mean, here's like inspiration pictures. You can see like, it's like these, you know? Like blood on the walls, this kind of thing, you know? But it doesn't show the tunnel. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the advertisement for the thing. So I'm yelling to her, and then I tell her this thing, and she goes, "Okay, do I have to shut it?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." And so she slams like this metal door shut and locks it, and you hear the click, and it's like dark. It's fucking dark. The only light is from this little green. And I can't hear her anymore. And that was the only time. I'm not going to say I ever got really scared, but that was the time I was like claustrophobic. I was like, because I'm so far from the exit. There's no other way out. I can't really see the rope to get back. All you hear is water dripping, and I'm like claustrophobic. So anyway, but also the worst part is that it's not working. Like she shuts it and locks it, and the panel is not working. Like I'm pressing the button, I'm turning the key, I'm like trying to read it, but there's no light, and it's not fucking working. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting cramped in here, and I want it to work. I want to read it. I'm like trying, and I'm like, is anyone watching this? Like, like what the fuck? And so finally, I have to go back. And then when I get back to the main room, she like unlocks it, lets me out. We find this fucking battery thing that we needed the whole time. Okay, and so we have to go back in. Like the whole time, I don't have this battery. But then I realized, okay, I could go back, and I should go back. And you guys are here to make fun of me, but I swear to God, this is the reason I did it. I swear to God, I'm going to tell you next. I'm thinking in my head, like, this is probably the only. There's not like another trolley. There's not another thing, There's like, this is the cool part of this fucking trip. And so I'm like trying to encourage Ari to do it. I swear to God, you guys are copying me, but I'm thinking like, if she never does it, because she was scared. She was like, I don't know. But like, if she doesn't do it, I feel like it's not going to be a good memory. And in my mind, I'm thinking, if she said she doesn't want to do it, she's not going to do it. But I'm like, are you sure you don't want to do it? Because like, this is the only... And like, I think the point of something like that is to like overcome your fear. And then afterwards you have a fun story and she's excited about it. And in my mind, I feel like if she does it, it'll be sick. So she does it. I mean, she's like, okay, I'll do it. And so she takes the battery and she gets on the thing and she goes, and she gets to the end, and I have to slam the thing shut and close it. And then she plugs in the battery and she gets the puzzle. And once the thing comes on, she can see me on camera, the panel. So she can see me from where she's at, but it's like a grainy old footage, and she can see me and she can talk to me, but I can't really talk back to her. There's like a pipe or something. So she can talk to me. And so now there's like, I mean, I guess I'm just spoiling it, and never do it, I guess. there's like, they have other ones that are also there. This one's for couples, so you're not going to do it anyway. Now that I'm alone in the elevator shaft and she's telling me stuff, the elevator starts to close. The elevator, like, so actually I made a mistake, right? Because I put her over there, but now I'm in the closing elevator shaft, and she has to give me these instructions on like how to fucking fix the. It's like it looks like this. Actually, this is exactly what it looks like. Like this. I got to fix these pipes or whatever as it's closing on me. And it was pretty intense. It was cool. So she's telling me like, flip that one out. And if I do it wrong, which I did a couple times, it like sprays gas out. So I'm like, fuck. And the thing starts shaking. So it was cool. I mean, it was pretty fun. Then she came back. We started to fucking figure. Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing. So we go through all these puzzles and we're making great progress. And there's one where you have to like take this rickety thing and jam it through a hole and flick a light switch to see something, and we're solving it. And then there's part where we need to like take an electric wire and ground it and then touch another thing. And I'm like, I don't see a wire. Like, where's the fucking wire? And then I remembered there was a loose wire back at the end of the trolley. And we're low on time. So I dive back in the trolley and I'm like fucking yeeting myself back there in the dark. Like, don't even shut it. And I'm getting soaking wet because we didn't like fucking move the thing aside. And I grab the wire and start yanking it. And it turns out I was worried that was fake. That was the solution, which was fucking sick. That was the coolest puzzle to me. Was like remembering that loose wire, needing a wire, and then you just keep pulling it. Like it feels like I'm just breaking the set, but I'm just yanking the wire and it finally comes out. So then I slide myself backwards back on the trolley. We touch it, it grounds, it solves it. And then, this is the really embarrassing part. We open up the final access panel to like open the elevator door and get out. And there's like 6 things in there. And whenever we hit them, weird shit happens. And we know we have to hit them in a certain order, but we don't know what the order is. And we're like freaking out and we're like looking everywhere. And I'm like even looking back in the trolley and she's like scraping like we're looking everywhere. It literally was on the other side of the panel. Like when you open it, just look at the it was like the most obvious spot. And we just let it dangle. So we never looked at it. And to the point where even like the murderer in character was like giving us subtle hints. I don't remember what he said, but he was like, you know, you're gonna fucking die if you don't check the other side or something. You know? I'm not even kidding. Not even that exaggerated. Like because we were ahead of pace. That's what they told us. We were ahead of pace. Like we were doing good on the puzzles and it was fun. And then we got stuck. We just got literally fucking stuck on this one puzzle at the very end and we couldn't figure it out. And it was so frustrating. Oh God. And so at the end of it, we ran out of time and we died. The elevator crushed us. It goes down and like stops right above your head and it's like, you're dead. So we did die, unfortunately, on the last puzzle. Very rip. And they told us, yeah, like, you know, huge bummer, but very fun night. And again, in the car ride home, I think she was pretty happy that she did the brave thing of the trolley. So that was it. That was the big plan. We did not go. Actually, we did go to that adult factory outlet afterwards, just briefly. A lot of crazy stuff there. Just gonna be funny. We thought it'd be funny. It was just a funny part of the story. Anyway, that's it. That was it. And then we came back home, and the rest of it is not your business. But that was it. That was fun. Fun anniversary night. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, interesting data. If you're ever doing a date, again, I think it's not too crazy. It's probably not a great first date, but I thought it was really fun. I thought escape room couples was pretty fun. Assuming they like to be scared though. Ari likes the horror stuff. It was. I mean, I think people would be spooked, and you have to like puzzles a little bit. We came back home. Yeah, we came back home and did Hitman runs. Escape rooms are a good early date, but probably not a first date. They're also kind of fun with groups, you know, not just 2 people, but like you can do a group. People like that. So you're saying you have to like escape rooms like the escape room? Well, no, because I think my understanding is that escape rooms have become very popular in the past few years, and there's a lot of them. And some of them are really good, and most of them are not horror. Like there's like fucking Escape from Da Vinci's library, you know? And it's like, there's no horror in it at all. It's just like really annoying with more than 4 people. Yeah, the only problem is some people are fucking bossy assholes and they ruin escape rooms for everyone. It's like board games. Board games are really fun, and then a few weird rules-obsessed assholes that don't know how to have fun social interaction without too much structure ruin it for everybody else. And they don't allow them to enjoy it and take time to learn it. They don't let them have moments of like their own progress. They turn it into like a self-actualizing thing where they get to be the smartest one. And I'm not even saying I've never been that person in my life, but I've definitely learned that that is like the worst way to introduce someone to your hobby. And I do think board games get a bad rap because people like that. And escape rooms are similar. They attract a similar kind of personality. And so, you know, just realize that other people having fun is fun. Like, get some joy out of your group having fun, and then you will realize it's not about you doing every puzzle. That's not the goal. They feel like it's their time to flex something they're good at. Exactly. And I understand that want, but you have to, Just the level 2 of it is that the real flex is getting them to have fun. Like allowing them to flex is your flex. And they'll be more receptive to that. Like that'll be cooler. There's a similar thing for Dungeons and Dragons for the GM. Well, I don't know D&D that well, so you can tell me, but my understanding is that that's a little bit different because the DM or GM of a D&D game is doing a lot of work. Like they're basically already putting aside their own fun for your fun. They have to set everything up so I don't think it's exactly the same. But I think like the real example is someone that's played a board game multiple times and knows the rules in and out. Forcing their friends to play it and then beating them. It's like everyone going into it can expect that you're going to win. You've played a bunch of times before and they're new. And so it's like you really need to rethink your whole plan of attack on this. They have to learn by losing. Even that, the better way to do it is like, I don't know. I don't think you should patronize them, or it's like a fine line. But I do think there's something to be learned. There's a lesson to be learned. You never did that with Smash? In what context? Did I ever sit Ari down and beat her ass at Smash and say, you need to learn how to play? Yes, of course. Many times. But I regret it, of course. I would only do that. No, I didn't do that. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's a good example. I did it. I mean, I remember specifically this guy, I'll call him Waba, because that's his name. I'll call him Waba. And he worked at Twitch and played Jigglypuff. And he was a funny guy, but he couldn't really beat any people that were good at Twitch. And we had a pretty competitive Smash break room at Twitch. We had everybody's name on the wall in Velcro. And if you ever beat somebody, you got to rip their name off the wall and put your name there and switch tags. So like we had a pretty like ironclad ranking system where everyone would have serious best of 3s or best of 5s at lunch break to like we had power rank. It was pretty sick. It was really dope. Anyway, what Waba would do, the goal of that system is to challenge somebody better than you to try and move up the rank. What Waba would do is find brand new players, brand new employees to Twitch, like a new guy in HR or a new person in finance who had never played or barely played Smash, and say, oh yeah, we have you want to fit in around here? We have a fun Smash culture. And then he would sit them down and they were like learning how to play the game, and he would beat them over and over at lunch. They would beat him like 10-0. Sometimes he would even add their name to the bottom, so there was like more of a bottom to the fucking Velcro, which is crazy. That's crazy. They're not, and like 90% of them never came back. None of them would ever. That's a terrible way to introduce them to Smash. But he did all the time. Who'd the new guy play? They would pick like Roy or something. They would pick something random. GG, shake my hand. Anyway, it was an interesting guy, is all I'm saying. And so I don't think that's the type of attitude that you should have. I don't think you should try to get new players to just get smoked. Or I understand. I think I used to. When I was younger, when I was in my, it was 300 years ago when I was 22, I used to think like it's fucking Giga Chad to get absolutely rolled and smoked early. Like that'll teach him. But I think a little bit differently now. And I think there's a time for that because everybody has to learn. But I think there's an art to getting someone interested in something you're interested in. And I think if you truly smash someone into the dirt early, only very certain types of people respond well to that. And the point of board games and escape rooms and shit is not that. My brother was like that to me in COD, but it made me grind it. And as soon as I started beating him, we stopped playing. Yeah, that's my whole fucking life. That's yeah. I can relate to that, my friend. But most people don't think like that, and I had to learn that. And so I found it to be very rewarding to learn that people are not all the same. And I also found a way to have fun having other people have fun, which is a cool way to live. I will win one game and then never play again to go out on a high note. The people that do that the most to me in my life, this happens to all Melee players actually. Here's a story. If anyone's grinded Melee for years, as I have, and many Melee lifers have, you go to some kind of party or social gathering or event where they are playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate on a laggy TV. And then you play somebody and they win because you don't. It's an entirely different game. It's laggy as fuck. You can't do anything. You're trying to do something fancy. You can't do it. And they just fucking spam forward smash with Bowser or some shit and they beat you. And then they fucking talk endless shit. They talk endless shit. I mean, they just lose their mind that, oh, you love Smash? Oh, you're good at Smash? Oh, you like Smash? Items are usually on. Oh, wow, I tell you Smash. Do you watch Smash? I don't even watch Smash. And it's the worst. It's the worst. It's the worst feeling. And all you want to do is sit there and beat their ass because after 5 matches, you do. I mean, after a little bit of an adaptation time, you always beat them. But the worst ones will just beat you once and be like, nah. The worst ones will beat you one time and be like, I'm good. You know, I think we figured it out. And that is a truly irksome. That is a truly irksome habit. Yeah, that's you, or Golden. And yeah, you. But it's also like I should just roll with it. And I think I would roll with it now, but it's happened to me like in, I don't know, 2016, 17, 18, those stuff like that. And like I would get mad. It would frustrate me. I'm not gonna lie, that's me because I hate Smash. Win or lose, I give up the controller. Okay. Why don't you just don't pick up the controller to begin with? Why are you? It's like not. I don't think you're being forced to play. Tell the Shardbound story. I mean, there's a million Shardbound stories. Shardbound was a tactical card game that I became world rank 1 at. It wasn't a very popular game, which makes it worse that I spent all my time on it. But the story that I maybe didn't tell is like that game first released at TwitchCon 2016 or 2015. And I don't think I told this story. That's when the CEO of the company, Spirit Walk, went up on stage at TwitchCon and gave a little speech about how like they were building their game to be integrated into Twitch, and Twitch is going to be the future of gaming, and this game is going to be fun. Because at that time, Hearthstone was fucking huge on Twitch, and this game was kind of like a more serious tactical card game that was going to be built in. Like, that was the idea, right? And so they had like this really cool booth with like 20 PCs that all had Shardbound on it, and they were hooked up to play each other. And it was like head to head or whatever. I was working TwitchCon. I was running social media for Twitch at TwitchCon, and I was one of only like 6 TwitchCon employees, like people that were actually running TwitchCon. Like we had done the entire marketing, we had done the planning, the picking the events. Like it was a small committee that met every day for months. And I burnt out, by the way. Almost never been more burnt out at like 23, dude. I was by far the youngest person on that team. I worked all the dirty jobs they made me do. Like there was one job where we had to set up a fucking scavenger hunt for all of TwitchCon for every attendee. Like, you know, the one where they have like a QR code in the back of your badge. I had to do the whole thing, including hiding all the clues. I had to come up with all the clues. I had to come up with a fucking, I didn't know how to mark a QR code. I had to figure all that shit out. I had to talk to the badge people to get it on there. And then I had to fucking like one of the clues was like hit it on the fucking roof, and I had to like get on a fucking ladder, and it was insane. I had to do everything. All right, for that. But it was fine. It was cool. Anyway, while I was working, I took a little break to go play one round of this new game, Shardbound, because it looked interesting. And I played it, and I was like, this game fucking rules. And I played it, and I sat down, and I lost, right? I lost my first game. And I was like, but this game rules. This is really fun. And so, hour later or whatever, I'm like, I got a break. I'm going to play another game of Shardbound. So I go to the booth again. I wait in the little line, and I play again. And this time I win. And now I'm like, holy fuck, this game rules. And I also realized, like, oh my God, this card's kind of good. It was a demo. The demo only had like 2 generals or whatever, 2 decks. But I noticed most people were playing like the cool red general, and the green one had like some cool cards or whatever. So I was like, wait a minute, I'll play the green one. And then every time I came back and picked the green one and like tried the strategy I was thinking of that nobody else was doing, because they were all playing for their first time usually, I would win. So I kept winning. And then I was like, this is really fun. And I want to see if anyone can beat me. So over the next, TwitchCon was 3 days. Over the next 72 hours, I went like 50 times. Like every single break I got, I would come back to that booth and I would play the green deck. And I was like 49-1, dude. I kept winning, and I was having so much fun, and I was getting cracked at the game. And again, always playing against like new players. Nobody else is like doing this. So I've played more than anyone else. But like, I think at one point on day 3, I played one of the devs. One of the devs sat down, and I beat him. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to be the fucking greatest at this game. And then so when the game came out, I started playing it all the fucking time. All the time. Like I play this game after work every day at Twitch when it came. It didn't even come out. It was early access or whatever. To the point where, again, the game only had like a few hundred players on the Discord and not a super active ladder. And they were like still doing early promo or whatever. And so because there wasn't that many players, it wasn't very active. Anytime a new player would queue up on ladder, if it couldn't find someone in their skill level, it would branch out. And if it couldn't find someone in that skill level, it would branch out. And so every day I was queued up 24/7. Because there was nobody in my level. There was like one guy. There was like, it was like 10 people that we would all have to meet up on Discord. So I'm always in queue for hours. I would always be in queue. And almost every match I would get is like somebody who's brand new playing the guy who's literally rank 1 on ladder, and they would get completely shit on. And there was the Reddit post, Shardbound AMA Atrioc. Let's see. Damn it, I can't find it. Oh, they might have deleted the Reddit, huh? The Shardbound Reddit? Fuck. Let me see. Anyway, 2 things happened from that. One is that the devs had a studio not too far from Twitch office in San Mateo. And they invited me out when I was rank 1. They invited me out to like look at some new upcoming maps, talk about the game, see how they could use Twitch to promote their game because I ran the front page and shit. And he also brought me into his office and sat me down and said, hey, you've got to stop scaring new players off. Like, they look at the stats and people would play the game, run into me, get completely destroyed. Like, because I got a perfectly optimized deck, and they would bounce. They would just churn. They wouldn't play again because they would feel like the game was too hardcore. Oh, Reddit Shardbound. Let's see if I can find the fucking post that I'm talking about. Let's see. How do you search like within? Oh, there it is. No, that's not it. That's not the review's not it. I don't know where it was, dude. It might actually have been what I think. So anyway, if you guys don't know, it has been. So Shardbound recently got bought by like a fucking NFT company and is now a fucking NFT crypto game. Yeah, I had 3,200 hours. So the game, I mean, I remember I got an email like a few months ago that was like, Shardbound's coming back. We're finally finishing the game. And I was like, oh, that's bad for me. I am worried I'll get addicted again. And I click it and it's like, now with NFTs. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not worried. Thank God. Actually, I've never been so excited to see NFTs in a game because it saved me from getting fucking locked in. Anyway, there was a fucking Reddit thread. We've seen it on stream. I must be deleted after that NFT company bought it. But there was a Reddit thread saying, I am a 1,200 ranked player in a game with Atrioc right now, AMA. And it was like the top of the Shardbound subreddit, and he's like, why the fuck am I... like, he's beating me on turn 5. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. 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 Oh, someone found it. Oh, it's a private community? Or what does that mean? Oh, you just can't go. It's like... Oh. Yeah, it exists, but you can't see it. Anyway, yeah, that's what it was. So, yeah, anyway, I caused some damage to the game. But I love that game. It was a beautiful game. And one day, if I ever... if that NFT company dies and I could pick it up for pennies on the dollar, I would buy that game, I would finish it, and I'll play it. Yeah, I love it to death. I strangled it. Did you ever play Heroes of the Storm? I played it at BlizzCon, and not really outside of that. Although I have a story. I remember after Twitch spent $110 million to buy the rights to Overwatch League, which was the dumbest thing Twitch has probably ever done, legitimately. And that's a high bar. It's the dumbest thing. They spent all of their content budget for like the year to get the rights to Overwatch League, even though there was zero chance Overwatch League wouldn't stream on Twitch anyway. So because we did that, we were like in bed with Blizzard, and we had to do like a bunch of Blizzard activations to make it worth it. Because Blizzard promised us the moon. Like Blizzard promised Twitch, like, okay, you get to have Heroes of the Storm, esports, and all this shit. And every year there was a contest called the Heroes of the Dorm, which was like the biggest collegiate contest in Heroes of the Storm. And we were going to stream that on Twitch. And one of the project managers was like in charge of making the marketing for this. And they asked me to basically do their work. God, I was so dumb, dude. I was so dumb when I was fucking 23. And they were like, I don't know anything about this, but you did college esports, right? And I was like, yeah, I did do college esports. Can you make like a video? Can you just make a video that promotes this, that we can use like for email and Twitch Weekly and social media and stuff? And just you individually just make a video that like has footage. You know, it's like hard to have an individual person make like a video, like a good quality promo video. And so, but I was very gung-ho at the time. I was like, fucking do whatever it takes. So I enlist Anna Prosser, who's like a very famous esports host that worked at Twitch. I get her to voice record like all of these lines as Kerrigan. And then I do like all this footage of Kerrigan in the game Heroes of the Storm. And I make her voices line up to Kerrigan like she's introducing some thing. And I put all this work into it to make it like machinima and like it's cool. And then it cuts in, and I barely know video editing, so I'm trying, and I come out with something I think I'm like working my ass off. It's all in addition to my normal job. So I'm doing it like after hours, and I'm staying super late at the office, and then I get there early and I'm working because there's a deadline. And I finally get it, like, I don't know, 2 days before. And the guy looks at it and he's like, no, I mean, I'm saying guy, it wasn't a guy. I don't want to reveal who it was. And so she looked at it and she goes, feels like a little too gamery. Like, and so I'm like, well, what would you want me to change? Like, what would you want me to fix? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I think it just needs to be a little more like fun, or I don't know. So it's tough. So I try to make an edit. Like, I do another edit and I give it back to her. And again, while I'm doing this edit, this second pass, she just went out and used company money expensively to hire an outside like professional video agency to make one. So I was doing this second draft as like backup work, but she didn't tell me. Okay. So I come back with the second draft and she's like, no, we're going to go with this one. And then, so it's like, not only did I not get paid, it was extra work. It was backup work. And then what? And again, the video that came out, I'm sure we could find it if we looked hard enough. It was terrible. The one the production company made was so cheesy and like stock footagey and like, oh, it was so bad. And it made me mad, dude. I was just mad. I remember being really mad. And I was near the time where I started thinking about like, I mean, it wasn't because of that. It was a lot of things. But there was just so much of Twitch where it was like all the people that were super hype that I looked up to had been leaving. And everyone in like senior management was like someone who did not give one shit about live streaming or gaming. They were like all there to check a box before moving on to fucking Meta or Amazon or, whatever. And so, yeah, that was it. That was why I was so frustrated. But yeah, that's my Heroes of the Dorm, Heroes of the Storm story. Yeah, was there a book list yet? Reading the Algebra of Happiness right now. Did you like it? I don't have a book list. I mean, I probably could make one actually. I really have been actually really enjoying reading lately, which is fucking nerdy as shit. Hey, book number 1 is fucking, don't read. Book number 1 is fucking go to fucking sick ass parties, dude. That's it. Like that's no, I've been reading a lot lately and I don't know. I can make a list. I mean, I have a lot of recommendations. But I actually prefer when people give me recommendations because it helps me find, especially fiction. I feel like I have no idea of who's good at fiction right now or any like cool fiction gems. And I don't like reading nonfiction at night anymore because I can't sleep. Best intro economics book? I actually have a great one for you. If you're looking for an introduction to economics book, I read a book. I'm not going to remember the exact name. I read it a long time ago. It was like, fuck. I think this guy was like, this sounds like a bad qualification. I think he was like the central banker for Greece, which is like a country that has defaulted on its loans many times. So not a great person, but he wrote a book that was called like Talking to My Daughter About the Economy. Is that what it is? Fuck. What is it called? Talking to My Daughter About the Economy. Is that what it is? Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it's the Greek finance minister Yanis Varoufakis. That's it. Wow, I fucking remembered it. Anyway, yeah, it's talking about, yeah, and it's just him explaining to his daughter, who doesn't know shit about economics, like simply, how national banks work, how the IMF works, how flows of money, it's like in a simple, natural language that people can understand. And I found it to be very eye-opening when I read it early on. Now, I don't think this guy's like the world's greatest expert, but that's not what you want in a book like this. And I think he knows more than me. And I thought it was good. It's got clear language and clear examples. So if you want an introduction economics book, I'm talking too fast. That's a good one. It's an interesting one to start with. I liked it. At least I remember liking it. Maybe it didn't age well, but I liked it. What nonfiction genres do you like? I just read business books. I read business books, marketing books. My favorite books are like books that tell interesting stories firsthand of like the rise and fall of businesses or like really unique business misadventures. Or that's what I like. That's what I like. Those books. I like economic romance. What the fuck is that? What is economic romance? Like sexy economics books? Like a shirtless guy on the on the front. And it's called like mergers. Romanticizing buying a home. Yikes. I saw a pretty damning stat today that was like, at least in California, only 16% of people can afford a home or something like that. Something absurd, which means like I feel like we don't even realize how crazy that is. I feel like when we think about that, we're like, oh, that sounds about right. Like that means the entire system, the entire economy is just set up wrong. There's enough land, there's enough capability, there's enough houses, and people just can't. The average person cannot afford to live in the average house. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like something is broken. And what I sort of realized is like, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but because human beings are so incentive driven, it's not just like people are NIMBYs for no reason. NIMBYs is not in my backyard. They oppose new development. They oppose new building. It's like once you buy a house, for most Americans, that is their retirement plan. That is like where all of their money, like once they save up enough money to buy one of these expensive houses, they can't allow the house to ever go down in value or they're fucked. So while I do agree that there are some just rich assholes, a lot of it is like people that were either lucky or at the right time, mostly boomers, and they bought a house and that is their retirement. That's all their money. And if anything happens to make that go down, they are fucked. So they fight tooth and nail to like never allow anything new to be built. But it's like, it's fucked because they're just like, they just have to die. Like the only way we can get change is for people to have more votes than them. Like there's actually, because I don't like, I just have a hard time blaming people against their incentives. Because human beings are more rational than you think when it comes to like, just what's going to make them money or what's going to like, and I can't blame a fucking a family that's all their money is in a house to not like wanting new developments to make their house go half. Like it is altruistic. It's good. It's the right thing to do, but like, it doesn't cost me shit and it costs them everything. Oh, thanks for the gifties. So like, they just need to die. They just need to die. Which sounds worse, but that's what I think. Toby G, they've been 10 gifted. Ledsy, they've been 27 months. Hey, Glizzy Dog. Back when you were considering modding me, you said that all the mods were cool. The examples you gave were rappers and monster truck drivers. I'm happy I have finally fulfilled expectations for a moderator / rapper for your... Oh, yeah. It's just funny, Ledsy, because I asked you to beatbox once on stream and you were too nervous. Like I pulled you into a call and you wouldn't even say boots and cats. You were like actually nervous. And then now, a few weeks after that, you are literally spitting bars about Bionicle. You're like doing a full Bionicle fucking rap. So it's just, Billary Squinton, loved your verse. Incredible. Character growth. It is character growth. Never let it be said it wasn't character growth. Bro had his arc. Yeah, for real, for real. For real, for real. Yo, Paraka. This 2015 Heroes of the Dorm. Let's see. What is this? Oh my God, is this it? This might not be it. Let me see. Listen to the music though.
Introducing a collegiate gaming event where teams from around North America compete for their education. Heroes of the Dorm. The 5 individuals that can prove themselves the best team in North America, playing Blizzard's new competitive game, Heroes of the Storm, will win tuition for their college career. That's right. Form a team, play Heroes, claim your future. Stay tuned for more information about the live finals being held in California later this year.
This isn't it, unfortunately. I mean, but this is like not too far off. It's like this kind of music and vibe, you know, kind of cheesy. This is not it because this is from Blizzard, right? Yeah, it was from Twitch. Like it was Twitch made. It was about promoting the stream specifically. This is like fine, I guess. The one that we made was a little cheesier, but not too far off. Anyway. Top 10 fantasy books if you're looking for Rex. I'll check it out. Not now though. Hey, Big A, please read The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Bro, I've read that like 15 times back to back. Don't even quiz me on it, dude. I know everything about how fucking hungry that dude was. My girlfriend graduated college today. How's that for Get Smarter Saturdays? She's not here, and it's not you. So, I mean, congrats for sure. But, like, how does it affect this stream? Like, as far as we're talking, like, that just means someone graduated college today. I just finished Return of the Obra Dinn, and you would hate it, but it'd be very funny to watch. That's a game, right? Not a book. Return of the Obra Dinn. I'd probably hate this. I would probably fucking hate this, dude. You know my fucking stance on graphics for stream games. And I look at this, and this is what I'm seeing. This is the fucking game, and you want me to play this? This is what you want me to fucking play? No, dude. No shot. You know what I might play, though? This is going to sound fucking stupid, but... like, even though I don't think I'm very particularly inclined to puzzle games, to put it lightly, for whatever reason, I, want to play this game. House of Da Vinci, which is just endless puzzles. It's like pure puzzles. And it's like but it looks, I don't know, it just looks fun to me. It looks like it'd be fun. Even though I would fucking get stuck and hate it and get mauled and frustrated, I just want to play it. I don't know why. I just saw it in my Steam, recommended or something, and I clicked it and I'm like, this looks fun and I want to play it. But I don't know that I will. It's just on my mind. Let's see. Dyson Bearer. Thank you for the 23 months. Ludzy. Thank you for the Toby G for the gifted meal. Please for the 13. Cool. All right. So anyway, today is a long-standing tradition in the Atrioc community where we rot our brains 6 days a week on TikTok and dumb reacts and playing video games and even Marketing Monday. It just rots our brains. And we only on Saturdays have a moment of peace where we look to YouTube and smarter, better creators to educate us. -5. What? Outer Wilds, please. Yes. Okay. I will keep that in mind away. So we are now going to do Get Smarter Saturdays, whereupon... Shit, do I still have the website? I do. Oh, God, it works. You can submit videos that follow 3 rules. Rule number 1, the video can't be too long. Rule number 2, the video can't be too boring. And rule number 3, at the end of it, myself and chat have to have learned something. It has to have some educational value. It can be entertaining, has to have educational value. That's the rules of Get Smarter Saturdays. We pick fun videos. We watch them. It's great. This website is fucking broken on Chrome. I'll try Edge. Oh my God. Okay. Well, it's just fucking broken. I'll just have to highlight it. And let's see what we can find. This impossible Halo trick took 7 years, tower to tower. Seems hype, but not that. Oh, I want to watch. Actually, I have one. I have a good one. We're gonna start with fucking Coffeezilla and Sam Bankman-Fried, because that motherfucker just got locked up again.
This show, Sam Bankman-Fried is back in.
Let's see. Scam Bankman fraud, dude. Hey man, well said. Let's get you guys here. Perfect. All right. Anyway, yeah, I talked about this on Marketing Monday before it happened, where I was like, they were thinking about revoking his bail. Well, they did it. They did it, and they got him on pretty clear counts of witness intimidation. I mean, the thing I saw said, like, he had like one of the cushiest deals to walk free, and all he had to do was not like get on a VPN and commit more crimes. And that's exactly what he did. Yeah. SBF got one of the sweetest bail deals in history, and all he had to do was chill with his parents at his parents' Stanford home, play with his new dog his parents bought for him, and not use a VPN to commit more crimes. And yet, interesting.
Sam Bankman-Fried is back in jail. Previously, he was living in a multi-million-dollar house on house arrest, but according to prosecutors, he's been using that time to tamper with witnesses twice, which, you know, is highly illegal, but I guess who knew a guy who stole billions of dollars couldn't be trusted? But even more surprising is learning the fact that he apparently has been talking about this show in between tampering with those witnesses on house arrest.
Wait, before he gets to this, because he might not mention the witnesses. The tampering with the witness, like the key witness he tampered with is his ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison. And he went to the New York Times and basically said, I've got her diary. Can you publish it to make her look bad? Because she's going to testify against me. Oh, he does? Oh, he does mention? Okay, fuck. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind.
Which we're going to talk about. But first, if you're just catching up with what's been going on with SBF, it's been a while, and here's the 30 seconds.
I didn't pre-watch, but what's funny is if you're saying pre-watch, that means you've already watched it, which means what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? What's the joy? You've already seen it, bro.
Can recap since we talked. Sam Bankman-Fried committed the largest financial fraud since Bernie Madoff, and he's a terrible League of Legends player. So, you know, already 2 strikes, but it gets worse because he proceeded to go on the world's most annoying apology tour after that, talking to everyone.
Please ask him if he thinks what happened.
That is a Joker-esque smile. Wait, go back one second.
Talking to...
That's like the movie Smile. Remember that movie Smile where... That's like a cover for that.
Everyone.
Please ask him if he thinks what happened was fraud.
I mean, I'm deeply sorry about what happened.
A lot of people look at you and see Bernie Madoff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's who I am at all.
I agree, because Bernie Madoff had like a pretty coordinated scheme that lasted for decades. And your fucking crypto fraud was so ramshackle and poorly organized and just basic, obvious fraud that you got caught within like 1 year. You got like 2 years. I mean, you had 2 years of being on top. Bernie Madoff lasted like fucking 60 and would eventually at one point was like fucking running the SEC, which is the organization designed to fucking catch him. No, it's running the New York Stock Exchange, the either the NASDAQ or the NYSE. Bernie Madoff, as far as fraud goes, and it was terrible, was at least good at his craft.
The reason it was so annoying is that Sam kept...
Also, when Bernie Madoff got caught, it was, he admitted all of it. He like immediately went to the authorities, admitted everything that he did, signed up for jail. I mean, again, I think Bernie Madoff is a terrible person. I want to make sure I'm just comparing him to how Sam Bankman-Fried, in my mind, is like, the only reason he's not as bad is because he didn't last as long, because he didn't scam as many people. But like what SBF did is, and also what he's continuing to do, SBF is handling, like saying oopsie and then secretly trying to tamper with witnesses shows that like not only was it nowhere close to an oopsie, but you're like a fucking thug, dude. You're like an asshole. You are truly a fucking criminal. I don't think SBF is just dumb. I think he's dumb and bad and slimy.
Repeating how sorry he was that none of it was his fault. $8 billion from his company went missing and he has no idea how it happened. He blames it all on his ex-girlfriend he hired, but that's not his fault either. He even tried selling that story to me back in December and accidentally.
Also, you know that's fucking stupid because they've the guy, John Ray, who handled the Enron bankruptcy, is also handling the FTX bankruptcy. And he's been publishing like the findings. And one thing they found is like Caroline Ellison got paid dick all. Probably literally dick if you think about it. She got paid almost nothing compared to what he got paid. Like Sam got all of the money and she got fucking, I don't know, like a 6-figure salary. I mean, she got maybe $1 million or something, but she got billions.
Evidently admitted that he may have been commingling funds, which is a huge no-no. And when he admitted that, he got really mad at me and he said this.
But you have monopolized all of these discussions, Coffeezilla. You need to let others speak and you need to respond to what I'm saying and not grandstand as much here.
Now, I'm sad to say that is where me and Sam officially got off on the wrong foot. And that will play into the story later. But 6 days after my grandstanding, Sam himself would be grandstanding in handcuffs because he was arrested in the Bahamas and then extradited over to the United States where he faced 13 charges. Mostly it was fraud, but there were some campaign finance charges in there as well. Because get this, in between orchestrating billions of dollars being siphoned from customers, he also had the audacity to try to buy, the government. Republicans, Democrats, it didn't matter. He wanted to buy their influence for the laws he wanted to pass, which is a story, by the way, which we broke with the citizen journalist Tiffany Fong. Here that is.
Do need about the thing not post-party here.
No matter how you slice it, things were just looking bad for Sam at this point, and good for truth, justice, and the American way of waiting until billions of dollars are stolen before you do anything. And since we last talked, mostly things have remained the same, although there have been some changes that for Sam have been a mixed bag, legally speaking. For example, his team got 5 of the charges against him delayed to a future trial. Not only that, they almost got the campaign finance charges dismissed on a technicality until they didn't. But most importantly, and the biggest problem for Sam, is that he can't seem to stop.
I mean, it's funny because like my ears perk up in like fraud warning when the one charge that gets dropped is the campaign finance one, because that's obviously like people with power not wanting that thread to get pulled. You know, that's like people with power not wanting that particular thing to come up in court and be talked about a lot. And so it's interesting. Like, this guy definitely violated campaign finance laws flagrantly. So
breaking his bail conditions and getting caught doing so, which brings us to today. See, when you get out on bail, you're essentially making a promise. They won't lock you up, but in return, you got to follow some basic rules. You know, you got to be where they tell you. You got to show up to your trial, and you can't do certain things, like commit crimes, contact witnesses, or, for instance, try to call the press 1,000 times and send 100 emails to the media to try to manipulate the narrative. Can you guess which one Sam broke? It actually got so bad, by the way, that the judge had to tell SBF to...
Needy. I'm just saying, like, even a triple text is bad, but 1,000 texts? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, bro. It's like, maybe we want to talk about something else today.
Stop contacting potential witnesses with encrypted messaging apps, which led to him getting banned from smartphones, which somehow he still managed to call these reporters, and apparently then proceeded to leak the private diaries of his ex-girlfriend, Caroline Ellison, who, by the way, is going to be testifying against him in this trial and was a key figure as she ran Alameda Research. This, by the way, is what you call witness tampering, and it was the final reason that SBF's bail was revoked after he repeatedly violated it. Allegedly, he had over 100 phone calls with that New York Times reporter who then wrote this story inside the private writings of Caroline Ellison, star witness in the FTX case. And I don't think it takes a genius to realize why the lead suspect in a criminal trial leaking damaging documents to the New York Times about the star witness against him is so obviously wrong. Now he's back in jail. Although he's not going to have to wait long because October 2nd is when his criminal trial starts, which you can guarantee we will be.
Okay, is he going to talk about... Does he talk more about that? Does anyone know? Because there's more to say about that. I don't want to pre-watched it, but does he talk more about... Okay, well then I want to say... So my understanding is that he would only allow the New York Times reporter to look at the documents, her diary, which were Google Docs, on his computer. He wouldn't send the original files, which they could allow them to look at the metadata and find out when they were created. So there's like a real chance that he either edited or outright wrote these fucking diaries. Because they're just Google Docs called fucking Caroline's Diary, bro. And they all say it's, and so that's very, very interesting. Like they had to come to his laptop and take notes. So I just, I'm not 100%, I don't know if they're true or false or not, all right? The New York Times probably did some kind of diligence, I assume, to publishing it, but it's very concerning that he doesn't have the original files.
Be covering extensively. I've been waiting for this moment since the day I heard Sam Bankman-Fried might go to prison for the rest of his life. But, I was surprised to find out that Sam hasn't stopped thinking about me either.
I watched SBF play League today. Wow, he is so talented. I love him very much. That's the entry every day. Wow. August 14th. Sam's fizz is getting better and better. He must have found a great guide.
According to a leaked phone call we received, I apparently have a strange relationship with this guy I wasn't even aware of, which is only the second most surprising relationship I found out Sam had this year. Just recently, we discovered in one of his 1,000 phone calls to the press, he talked to the reporter Tiffany Fong, who we mentioned earlier we've featured, and he name-dropped me, Coffeezilla, as someone he particularly hates.
Yeah, no, that was, that was, the other one I really hate, I think it's Coffeezilla, the guy who yelled at me for associating with bad people.
Now, I'll be honest. I feel horrible about this. Did I yell at Sam for associating with bad people? How could I do that when he only created the biggest fraud since Bernie Madoff? The poor guy, his feelings are clearly hurt.
Yeah.
Guilt by association, it's just not there. But I did wonder, who specifically was he upset that I brought up?
He gave two examples.
The Dan Friedberg?
Dan Friedberg and Mark Cohen were his examples.
How dare I use examples of Dan Friedberg being hired at FTX as their chief compliance officer, Dan being a notorious lawyer known for covering up a cheating scandal in poker, where they apparently had a backdoor God mode where one player could see the other player's hands and no one knew about it. How could that possibly be relevant that the same guy who covered that up was also hired to Sam's company, which now we know had a secret backdoor used to steal money from FTX customers? Could it be that he was hired for his past, not in spite of it? Or maybe it's just coincidence that the same guy is now being accused in a new lawsuit of paying.
I don't want to bring this up, but it is interesting to me that Tesla has gone through 4 CFOs in like 6 years, and their most recent one just hired. His only experience is working at Solar City for Elon's family, which was an Elon family company that he acquired that notoriously had some weird financial issues that were papered over when Elon bought it. It's interesting. It's interesting. Not saying anything. I don't know. Maybe he's great. But I just think it's slightly concerning. I just think it's interesting. It's like that guy, he doesn't have a lot of experience.
Paying, quote, exorbitant hush money to a former FTX employee. All I pointed out was that hiring Dan Friedberg as your...
Sorry, I just want to read the name. Hey, Clays, thank you for the 17 months. I love all your content from Last of Us 1 and 2. That's crazy. You are either lying or insanely OG. I had 80 viewers when I played Last of Us. AOE4, Hitman, Balloons, Marketing Monday, and Hollow Knight. Keep up the fantastic work. Take care of yourself and your family. And know you've got a bunch of supporters behind you and a heart. Thank you very much, Clays. It's very kind of you. Thank you for the 17 months of support. Appreciate it very much. I do not believe that you watched Last of Us, but if you did, that's incredible.
Your compliance officer makes as much sense as hiring Jack the Ripper to work in a woman's hospital. It doesn't happen on accident. But now I also want to talk about the other person he mentioned, Mark Cohen. I simply pointed out that it's the same lawyer who defended Ghislaine Maxwell. You know, the trafficker associated with, you know who.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not saying that hiring a criminal defense lawyer who defends the worst criminals makes you the worst criminal. Just like I'm also not saying that hiring a compliance officer who allegedly covers up.
To be fair, I don't know if he's saying it sarcastically. I do believe that it doesn't mean anything. I think, the sad fact of it is they're just really good lawyers that bad people will hire if they have enough money. I think lawyers are more amoral than, I don't think it, I just think you're going to want to hire the best one. And, the Jeffrey Epstein billionaire is going to hire the best one, whether or not. I don't think you're automatically a fucking pedophile like he is just because you hire the same lawyer. I don't know if that's what he's saying or not, but,
potential crimes means you're covering up potential crimes. But I am saying that Sam really knows how to pick his lawyers. My boy really assembled the dream team. It's like he hired the Legion of Doom and now is saying, hey, why are you bringing that up? Why is that relevant to whether I'm involved in Doom-related activities? But why am I really even defending myself? I suppose it's kind of a badge of honor to be hated by this guy. This fraudster, this bronze tier trash. But I can't help but feel a little sad that me and Sam have grown so far apart since the...
Damn, bro. Yikes. Whoa. Hit him where it hurts. Yo, whoa. Bronze tier trash coffee? Get him, bro. Yikes. I would love to see Coffeezilla versus SBF 1v1 league. I'll coach you, dude. Because you have to win. You have to win. SBF can't win. I think that'd be fucking hype. Howling Abyss? That'd be sick. Loser goes to prison? How fucking stupid is that? Sam Bankman-Fried gets a lucky kill on SBF and on Coffeezilla, and so Coffeezilla serves 20 years. SBF walks free, runs a YouTube channel, and Coffee. That's how it be. Ball don't lie. Yeah, trial by combat. It's a dark future.
The days I would ambush him in Twitter Spaces. So I want to continue the dialogue here, the strange relationship me and Sam have together, because, look, I know he watches the show, he talks about it, and apparently is being allowed a laptop in prison for some reason. So I thought I'd take this moment to offer a short message to Sam himself. Hi. How's prison? I hope you're hating it. And I look forward to covering your trial. That's the truth. I'll try not to grandstand so much this time for your sake. Oh, and give me a call sometime. I mean, 1,000 calls to the media and I don't get one, Sam? What the hell's wrong with you? I thought we had something special. Text me on Signal. They'll never find out.
Why the fuck is he allowed to have a laptop? I don't know. It's crazy because, you know, like they put him on bail. They said don't use the internet that we can't see. He uses a VPN, breaks the rules, gets caught, goes to prison. They give him a laptop again. It's like at some point, like this guy's addicted to crack and you keep saying, don't use this crack. We're going to give you some crack. Don't use it. You know, this guy is, yeah, giving a shooter a gun in jail. This guy's going to play League. That's the real problem. Good video. Good update by Coffeezilla. Oh, you know what I want to watch? I kind of want to watch Mr. Beast's new video. $1 versus $250,000 vacation. I just feel like I want to understand, you know, Mr. Beast is the best at YouTube and I could learn from him. Like you say, I think that would be one of the most educational videos I could watch because I want to understand like what his tricks are. Have you watched Stranded Island when it's better? We'll see. We'll come back to that. Let's see. Please submit more videos. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I'm just going to refresh. So anything you submitted before doesn't work. You'll have to submit it now. Let's see what we got. How do you submit? You just paste it in chat and it shows up on my screen here. And I can just read it. The cartel member who dissolved 300 bodies in acid. Bro, that just sounds dark. That doesn't. What am I going to learn from that? It just sounds like a sad thing that happened. I don't. Why the American lawn sucks. Intrigue in Copenhagen, a tale of high-stakes corporate espionage. This sounds hype. I'll watch this for sure. 7 minutes? High-stakes corporate espionage? Sheesh.
A top CEO and her security team were dining at this Copenhagen restaurant when they noticed something unsettling outside the 17th floor window. A drone seemed to be monitoring them.
Oh, yeah?
They had good reason to be paranoid.
They were here celebrating the end of a 2.5-month investigation that found that the Chinese company Huawei had conducted this ham-fisted espionage effort to try to secure a $200 million contract.
This was about more than just money. Telecoms networks are a critical part of any country's national security. The investigation revealed the extent of the alleged dirty...
I like to pause for a second and just take a moment to admire the great products at Huawei. And say that I'm a proud user of a Huawei phone. It's amazing. And I just think that the CCP knows what they're doing. No, do you remember when Gal Gadot posted how much she loved her Huawei phone and it said posted on iPhone? Like I can't get enough of my fucking brand new Huawei H360 or whatever. And it's like posted from my phone. That shit was gas.
Tricks that a Chinese tech giant would deploy to get a piece of it.
Do you think people in China think the same way about iPhone as we think about Huawei? No, iPhone sells pretty well in China. Yeah, iPhone, I mean, it's not as dominant as it is here, not even close, but it does pretty well. Huawei does not sell in the States. It's my understanding. I mean, barely, if any. Their market share here is really low. But they're really big in like a lot of the world. Like China, Huawei's, an influential company for sure.
It all started in
Isn't it banned?
2019.
Was that recent? Because I recall you could get your hands on one. But yeah, I think they probably are banned. Yeah, Latin America. Yeah, absolutely. Latin America, Brazil. Brazil's big. Huawei. Plenty of East Asia. Not really Europe. Africa. A lot of the developing world has Huawei phones.
Here at the headquarters of TDC Group. It's Denmark's biggest telecoms firm. It's also where the team
Russia,
Silo worked.
And at the time, this was early 2019, TDC had a tender offer out there for a contract worth more than $200 million to build their 5G telecoms network. And at that time, they had whittled down the bidders to just two, Sweden's Ericsson and China's Huawei. The details in those tender offers are very closely protected. Things like pricing. How much do you charge for things? Ericsson, as it turns out, had offered to do this job for less money than Huawei. Huawei was not supposed to know that. Huawei somehow found out.
Interesting.
And just hours before the final decision, submitted an emergency revision to its bid. And in fact, its bid was slightly lower than Ericsson.
How had the information managed to seep out? TDC called an emergency investigation.
Within that decade, Huawei had leapfrogged other Nordic rivals, including Ericsson and Nokia, to become the world's biggest maker of telecommunications equipment.
Yeah, like
While
by
not as
far.
big as Tencent or Alibaba, Huawei is a far more successful Chinese tech export. The company says that its technology connects over 3 billion people in 170
3
countries.
billion, huh?
The way they did that was not without its controversies, right?
Yeah, for many years, Huawei has been...
Controversies. How do Europeans get around, dude? How do you survive your day when you speak like that? Controversies? It's it's Tuesday, isn't it? People in quotes.
and under suspicion by the U.S. government and others for potentially being under the control of the Chinese government.
Aluminium.
The Biden administration, which is said to be considering cutting Huawei off from all of its American suppliers.
Huawei is a bad actor. There's a lot of intelligence suggesting that they're very close to the Chinese military and to Chinese intel.
So controversy has followed Huawei wherever it's gone. But here in Denmark, Huawei was a trusted provider. Huawei had worked with TDC since 2013. So for many years, Huawei had supplied the key equipment that TDC used for its 3G and its 4G networks. Huawei had an office on this campus, and many of its engineers badged into TDC every single day to service the network. It was seen as a trusted provider.
Okay.
TDC becomes very alarmed because it's clear that somebody has leaked to Huawei Ericsson's sensitive information. TDC begins an investigation focused on potential insiders, potential hacking, and also potential eavesdropping within their offices. And in fact, a sweep of the boardroom found microphones hidden in the boardroom.
Oh,
These
shit.
are some of the most sensitive types of investigations, because in this case, maybe 5, maybe 10 at most people had this information.
What do they find?
What they find is that the head of special projects, a guy named Dov Goldstein, they find very quickly that he had leaked this information to Huawei. The investigation as such was fairly straightforward. However, when they requested CCTV footage of Dov Goldstein's comings and goings, Dov Goldstein finds out, and he confronts the executive team at TDC. So there was a leak within the security investigation.
Oh my God.
This heightened the paranoia even further. The security team decides we can't trust our own environment. We need to leave. We need to take our evidence. They seize the executives' phones. They seize their laptops. This is a very serious investigation. They realize we can't hold that information here. We need to take that evidence to another place, a secure location where we can conduct this investigation.
Okay. Is
So
there a
if you
leak
look up
there?
That big brown building is the Plesner Law Firm. That's the building where TDC Security Group, moved their investigation. They booked a conference room on the 15th floor of these law offices as the secure place to conduct the rest of their investigation.
But it quickly sort of went awry.
Oh my
That
God.
same night that they moved their investigation from TDC headquarters here, Plesner's computer network came under sustained hacking attacks.
Oh,
The next
fuck.
day, after midnight, a security guard noticed a drone hovering outside the same 15th floor window where the team was working.
Jesus.
One of the reasons they saw the drone, it had lights on it.
It apparently had lights, which adds even more levels of intrigue to it, because if you lit up that room at that time with the blinds not drawn, you would have seen the full timeline of this team's investigation.
The paranoia heightened. Members of the security team started to notice the same strangers popping up around town, appearing to follow and photograph them as they ate at restaurants
Jesus.
or entered and left their homes. Even TDC CEO Alison Kirkby seemed to have attracted a persistent tail. To make matters worse, Huawei managers had written to the Danish Prime Minister warning that should Huawei not get the TDC contract, it would, quote, severely affect other Chinese companies' investment confidence in Denmark. The Prime Minister's office didn't comment. The reaction
Okay,
was
direct
swift.
threat, huh?
Goldstein left the company. The investigation found he had allegedly leaked Ericsson's secret information to Jason Lan. He led Huawei's operations in Denmark, and investigators determined had essentially cultivated.
It must have felt good, someone caring about you so much. Yeah, this is a good sign. This shows Huawei really cares. They'll go the extra mile for this contract. And it shows they have gumption and moxie, and they want to get to know you personally, even outside of the workplace.
Goldstein as a source. He returned to China. With the investigation concluded and alleged source of the leaks identified, a celebratory dinner was called. They gathered here at Restaurant Silo. Alison Kirkby reflected on the paranoia that had enveloped them and cracked a joke about when she'd next see a drone. Minutes later, a drone reappeared outside the window.
That's
The
good
security
timing.
team watched as it descended.
That
to the
is
street
good
below.
timing.
Men in a white van grabbed it and sped away. And the contract? Ericsson still won it.
Okay.
No criminal charges were filed as a consequence of the affair.
Ah, bummer.
Goldstein declined to comment. Ericsson declined to comment.
A lawyer for Jason Lan said his client believes that he has acted in compliance with all applicable laws and that his relationship to Dove Goldstein was of a professional.
Kind of insane that the Goldstein guy doesn't go to prison. It's a government contract, and he broke the law. He leaked it. That's
nature and one that was appropriate in the
he
circumstances.
dipped to China.
Huawei said in a statement,
Huawei complies with applicable laws and regulations and strives for the highest standards of
They use like a Chinese woman AI voice for this. Just read it. You can just read it like you did for the rest of them.
business conduct. We deny any wrongdoing.
TDC said in a statement.
Did you see? I mean, there's, I want to, I think this is, realistically, I had to look more into it, but I would not be surprised if this happened. Like this sounds up the alley for what I've heard from Huawei specifically. But did you guys see there was like a viral video of like a woman? Can someone find it? It's like a woman and she's like about to put a ring on her finger, but as she does, it like flashes to her like scrubbing dishes and taking care of the kids or whatever. It's like it's meant to show that she's like scared of like getting married or whatever. And then people started to say like, oh my God, this is like AI generated fake. Like this is a Chinese woman and they made a white woman's face on her to like psyop Americans into not getting married. And then, there was like some weird tells, because like she was holding a bottle of something and had a Chinese label on it. And then it turns out like it's a Norwegian woman that lived in China. Like she wasn't computer generated. That's just a fart sound. You did not link me the right thing. I'm actually timing you out. And next time I'll ban you. Anyone linking me YouTube is not linking me it, right? It wasn't a YouTube video. So why are you linking me a YouTube video? It just won't be it. It won't be the right one. So I'm not going to click any of your links. Because none of them will be it. Why are you clicking them? Wow. Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
We recognize some of the things in Bloomberg's findings from our own files. None of the employees directly mentioned by Bloomberg work for the company today.
You can find the full story on businessweek.com.
Very intriguing, very interesting. High stakes corporate espionage. Something I am interested in. Ooh, wait. Let's see what we got next. There's a good one here from Isto, aka the Doinkler, about how speedrunners broke his game. I'm interested. Let's see. This is the game Atrio that me, Linkus, and a Spectacore played that he developed. And apparently he made a contest similar to my $1,000 Hitman Challenge contest to see if speedrunners could break it. So I'll try and see what I'm interested.
If you've ever played an automation game like Factorio or Satisfactory, you know that beating a game like that can take hundreds and hundreds of hours. Building factories, optimizing, managing your inventory, and growing your factory is incredibly fun, but very, very time consuming.
I mean, you don't ever beat them, right?
Despite our automation game Atrio being a shorter, lighter take on the genre, most players still take roughly 20 to 30 hours to beat the game. Beating the game in a short amount of time is a serious achievement. I, as the developer of the game, knowing every little nuance and little detail, could only beat the game in 5 hours. Which is why, when I ran our first speedrun competition, I was blown away at the way these runners took the speedrun to unimaginable levels. This is how speedrunners broke Atrio the Dark Wilds any % story mode. First, let me explain the game. It's a story-first automation game where you play as a very disposable android who has been sent to the surface to restore power to the 5 stations in the region.
Okay.
You do this by automating power production, which in turn lets you expand your light system so you can increase your power production, so you expand your light system, and eventually find and connect all 5 stations.
Okay.
And the rest of the video has massive spoilers, so if you'd like to play the game, now's your chance. Still here?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. There are 5 stations in the world, including your home station of Station 2, which is where you start the game. For the sake of clarity, I'm just going to rename them in the order in which players find each station. And you'll thank me later because players very quickly start doing things pretty out of order. But now he gets fast. Oh, now he gets fast travel as well. As players find and connect the stations, they'll receive upgrades to build bigger and better factories and unlock new recipes until eventually their base is fully upgraded.
I just assume, the only thing I'm watching for is I want to make sure he's going to explain it for someone who has no idea because I don't remember how the game works. So if it requires me to remember, then I'll have to watch this game at some other time. But if he explains it, then I'll keep watching.
Great. Once that's done, the game is complete.
I remember the general.
Now the speedrun rules are pretty straightforward. You can't use our cheat menu and give yourself infinite resources. Infinite factories, baby!
Yeah, or your fucking dad will show
You have
up.
to beat the game. That's it. And to make things easier, I created a speedrun timer that automatically tracks your progress from level to level, and whatever time is shown is your officially submitted time. Now the first submitted run in the competition was by CJ Lim, in what I call the standard run. And although it's not groundbreaking, it really helps explain why the upcoming runs are so special and truly devious.
Okay.
So let's dive in. Here's the standard run route. Each of these biomes has an environmental element that kills the player, if they haven't upgraded their character enough. The blood like electrocutes you, the downtown has strong enemies, and the corrosive zone has toxic air.
Okay.
So a standard run has the player traveling to each station in order and upgrading the player until you're done the game like I intended. And if you haven't guessed already, players start doing things out of order pretty quickly. Let's look at CJ Lim's run. He starts the run by restoring power to his home base.
Okay.
This is where you, the player, build up your first fuel line, set up your first factory, and try to survive your first supply pod. What is a supply pod? Well, each station has a supply pod containing goodies for the player.
Okay.
Resources and upgrades and key items
Yeah,
to
I remember
progress
this.
through the
I remember
story.
this.
And the best part is it's free, so long as you can survive the creatures
It's like a
that are trying
backpack
to
of free
maim
shit.
and murder you.
Yeah.
So, when you visit each station, not only do you have to connect the power, but you also have to beat the supply pods. Once he's done upgrading his home base, he starts Section 2. The main goal is to discover and automate a new fuel.
This graphic is really cool. I wish I had this kind of graphic for Hitman. It's like a very cool way to explain where the person is on a large map and where they're going next. I'm kind of mentally making a note that I want to use this
source called Shroom Fuel. This fuel will increase your power so you can expand your lights out to the other stations. But unfortunately, the necessary factories needed to automate mushroom growing are trapped in the supply pods here and here. So, like I intended, CJ Lim does it in order and goes and connects up to Station 2, fights his way through the supply pod levels and retrieves the planter, and then heads over to the Blood Lake, fights his way through that supply pod, and then heads back to base where he can start to automate Shroom Fuel.
Lots of Shroom Fuel.
That gives you enough power to reach the Iris Station.
Okay.
A giant floating eyeball that gives you a minimap because it sees everything. Because it's an
That makes sense.
Anyway,
That's well
there's some more
said.
automation required, some confetti, some excellently written dialogue. I mean, just impressive Pulitzer Prize stuff. And with that, we head into the third section of the game, the downtown. CJ Lim at this point is 2 hours and 26 minutes into the run, which is a very respectable time. This fourth station is iron, a base resource to craft electronics and metals. But this river is impassable, so he has to travel all the way around, all the way back.
My only problem with this video so far is like, why not show the full 2 hour, 26 minute first run so I can get a real general sense of it? Do you know what I'm saying? Why would you not just show me that and then I can on half speed and explain every detail? You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's missing. I feel like now that I've seen the 9 hour Bionicle video, I want my videos to slow down a little bit more, take their time. Like, imagine if that Bionicle video was 20 minutes. You would never get the details that you need.
Back if he wants to move items back and forth. So the challenge is to figure out how the heck you're going to move all this iron back to home base. You do this by using springboards to launch items across the river and back to your factories where you can craft advanced items. Additionally, once you connect to Station 4, you can unlock fast travel, which lets you travel to any station that's powered on. This is important. CJ Lim builds out his iron line, and after a couple of very unfortunate deaths, beats the supply pod and heads into the final section of the game, the corrosive zone.
Okay.
Now at this point, you have a little spat with your home base's computer who drops all of your inventory and quote-unquote fast travels you to here, while also disabling all fast travel. So basically you're stuck rebuilding a mini base, crafting a battery that gives you corrosive resistance, and wandering aimlessly in the dark until you find your way out of the zone. At this point, now that you have corrosion resistance, you can connect to the last station. And I am glossing over this section a little bit because it really looks a little more like this. But once you're done the supply pod, you're in the home stretch. Unfortunately, this is easily the hardest supply pod. Not only are you managing your corrosion while managing your light, but the sheer volume of creatures you have to fight is a big jump up from the other supply pods.
Yeah, it seems hard.
But CJ Lim makes it through and heads into the end game. The last little bit of gameplay has you automating the most complicated item in the game, a survival kit, which contains water and dehydrated human food. It's confusing, I know, but it just makes sense with the story. So
I understand.
You have to trust me on this. And even though CJ Lim doesn't use any sneaky tricks, he has some good automation design and beats the game in a respectable 5 hours and 18 minutes. And that is our first world record.
Bro,
that is, until 15 days left in the competition, we meet Epiphany, our second main character in this epic story. He's a Twitch streamer and a speedrunner known for his elaborate and frame-destroying Satisfactory builds, whose next run starts a rivalry that pushes the speedrun into a whole new direction. With 15 days left, CJ Lim and Epiphany have a race live on Twitch. And outside of generally having cleaner runs, nothing interesting happens until 1 hour in, where this happens. Epiphany starts placing grav pipes around the supply pod, which, if configured properly, completely negates damage to the supply pod. So I looked into it to understand why this is happening, and it turns out, I don't know. I recreated it, and it works properly on our end. I just, I mean, I'll keep investigating, but I gotta finish this video, so we're moving on. But the reason this is so important is because normally you have to defend your base with walls and gates, which takes a lot of time and effort to set up. But now, Epiphany doesn't have to do that and still can't lose. But CJ Lim has a trick up his sleeve. The entangled chest skip. You see that? You see that sneaky placement? Let me explain. This is the entangled chest.
Yeah.
You unlock it after beating the first supply pod level, and it lets you access items from any other entangled chest in the world.
Okay, it's like
Here's
another
the
chest.
impassable river, and here's where CJ Lim places the chest. And here's where the player gets banished with no inventory. So after zooming his screen all the way out and placing it just at the edge of his screen, 30 minutes later, when he gets banished, CJ Lim just casually walks up to the chest that he's pre-filled with his factories and batteries, and instead of having to set up a mini base, he instantly heads off through the corrosion zone. Brilliant.
Yeah,
now, with
really
both
hype.
runners having figured
That's
out the
sick.
run, well, for the most part, and with some much cleaner automation setups, Epiphany finishes the run with a whopping 4:34, nearly 45 minutes shaved off of CJ Lim's time.
Okay, still kind of slow Mega Wall,
Unfortunately,
though.
CJ Lim finishes 4 minutes faster.
4:30:07. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
A week goes by, and both runners are now in a heated battle to get a record, but making no real headway. Until 6 days left in the competition, CJ Lim smashes his old record.
Okay.
CJ Lim shaves off 6 minutes and then shaves off another 11 minutes in the early game, but with no clear innovations. But in section
Just
3,
plain better.
he introduces a new strategy that saves an additional 41 minutes to the run.
whoa,
and now
whoa.
he is 54 minutes ahead of his old time.
Wait, I want to see what
Let
that
me
is.
explain.
Yeah, what is it?
Because this river is impassable, the only way to connect to the Bulbman is by building this massive line of light bulbs around the river. And you're thinking, but what if you can connect straight across the river? No! Bad viewer, I scold you. No, I'm kidding. Our game has a similar mechanic to Don't Starve, in that if you're in the dark, you instantly die. And since your flashlight runs out, you'll probably only make it to about here before you die.
Yeah.
But that's not all. Fast travel only transports you, not your inventory. So once you reach the Bulbman and the iron, you still gotta run all the way around to finish moving the iron back to home base.
Okay.
Or do you? At the very beginning of section 2, CJ Lim places all of his automation and light bulbs in preparation for section 3. Other runners hadn't done this before because, as you can see, he's already nearing his limit of light bulbs. But because his factory is so well optimized for space, he's minimizing the number of light bulbs he needs. And before he even finishes section 2, after he reaches the iron station, he continues to the Bulbman to save the extra trip. And rather than placing light bulbs, he fits the trip in the dark and has a light bulb line set up and ready to go.
Interesting.
All he has to do is connect the final light bulb, and in one fell swoop, connects 2 stations in one go. And using the supply pod protection skip, he can continue to build out his automation line while the battles are running. The multitasking is real.
Oh.
And even though section 1 and 2 aren't that much faster, it's because he's spending the extra time setting up for section 3. And by the time he's done, he shaved off 50 minutes. It's just incredible. And CJ Lim
That is cool.
heads into the 4th and final section with, that's a little weird.
Wait, what?
Anyway, he heads into the final section well ahead of time and continues to run a super clean 324.
324. Okay, that's pretty fast.
Shaving off more than an hour from the previous run and a time that remains unbeaten. Until with 1 day left, Epiphany submits a new run. Now, I'm gonna need everyone to strap in because Epiphany introduces so many brilliant little optimizations to his run. Like when you deposit fuel for the first time, there's a cutscene that locks the player's input. But right before he hits the cutscene, he hits a checkpoint that overrides that cutscene, saving him 5 seconds. Or when he zooms his screen all the way out and dismantles all of these factories in the dark so he doesn't have to craft them right at the beginning. Oh, and when he's battling through the first supply pod, he leads the pop boxes to this little electric flower patch because when they explode, the damage naturally harvests the flowers. So he doesn't have to spend time harvesting. And we're not even done section 1. Look at this. So Epiphany has 9
That's
seconds
pretty
left.
gangster.
in the
That's
supply
pretty
pod battle.
cool.
And I programmed the game so that if you leave the circle, you would have a little bit of buffer time to get back in because it kind of feels unfair to leave and lose that battle. Unless you're Epiphany, I guess, because while the battle is finishing on his behalf, he just jaunts over to this dropped backpack, picks up some goodies, and heads back. This is so damn early into the game, he hasn't even crafted light bulbs yet. And Epiphany exits section 1 7 minutes ahead.
Yeesh.
In section 2, he connects to the Punk Muck, but he doesn't do the supply pod battle. And instead, he heads up to the Blood Lake. Now, it should be noted, he doesn't have the proper upgrades to survive the Blood Lake. And he also doesn't have the right equipment to fight the Tornadoes. But these little green sections stop you from electrocuting yourself, and after dodging the Tornadoes and beating the first supply pod level, he gets 4 stun bombs. So now he can capture a Tornado 4 levels earlier than he really should. Keep in mind, he still hasn't done Station 2 supply pod, which contains the planter to make shroom fuel. he just left it and starts to connect the IR station and the bulb man without
You don't
upgrading
need
the player.
shroom fuel.
Because it turns out
Giga
there's a
Chad.
planter in this backpack. And I never thought it would be a problem because you're not meant to reach this part 30 damn minutes into the game. But he's not done. Despite not having enough power, he uses the supply pod skip and just dances back and forth between the only light he has, gets the entangled chest, and then kills himself. Let me explain. The bulb man, which gives you fast travel, isn't powered on yet because he's only 30 damn minutes into the game. And the only active respawn point is back at base because he's only 30 damn minutes into the game. You see what I'm saying? So when he does die, he skips the long trek home and is instantly teleported instead. And because he's placed the entangled chest, he can just run over.
Using death for speed is pretty Giga Chad. Using death because it's faster.
And get the planter and his inventory. Whew. Let me recap. He's only completed section 1, but has skipped the supply pod, connected all of the stations, has the entangled chest, and can automate shroom fuel now. And I'd say that's absurd, but he's got more in store. So he finishes section 2 and section 3 and is now a staggering 36 minutes ahead of the old world record. But right as he's about to be banished into the corrosive zone, this bug happens again. Okay, this is what actually is meant to happen. We lock your controls, a cutscene plays where your head explodes, and then you get teleported to the corrosion zone.
Yeah.
Stuck there. But instead, that doesn't happen. His controls are clearly not locked, and he's free to run down and open the fast travel menu where he waits. And this well-timed button click sends him to the corrosion zone. So I guess everything's fine. Oh.
He's got all his stuff?
Okay. Looks like he's now here, which means instead of being in the corrosion zone, he's here, so he doesn't have to do the corrosion zone at all. So I looked into it, and it turns out I have no idea what the is happening. Why is it still working? It's pretty easy to trigger. Just press tab. I am able to easily recreate it. Well, I figured it out. How anybody figured out how to actually do this is beyond me. And normally I wouldn't explain anything in this grandiose of detail because it's so technical and not interesting at all, but
it's
kind of
interesting.
that I just spent the last 8.5 hours trying to figure out how to do this. Viewer retention be damned, I'm explaining it. So the bug happens because of something called sequence breaking. C# code runs in sequence. So for example, if I have a function that locks and unlocks the player controls, it'll always happen in order. But there's many times when we need multiple things to happen all at once. Like if you're traveling around the map and the game needs to load a section of the world, I'm not just gonna go, oh, gotta pause the game while I load the level. That'd be a horrible experience.
Yeah.
Just when you do something, like for example, click a button, it kicks.
As a fellow game designer who inspired Miyamoto with my game Atrioc Racing, I understand this all intuitively. But if you guys need me to stop and explain it to you, feel free. Like if you ever need me to break it down, happy to do so, but it is kind of beneath my level.
Off 2 paths of code. But if for some reason a slippery little speedrunner somehow manages to squish this timeline down, things get triggered out of sequence, causing a sequence break.
It's what you call a sequence break. I think if I want to explain it simply, it's like what you call a sequence break. And it's about squishing timelines. All right. So if you want me to, I'll let him do it, but I can explain it much more simply.
So the bug starts when we click this button, and 2 things happen. One path shuts down the button menu, and the other opens up the dialogue. This sequence runs on a timer. It's exactly 1.7 seconds, and at the end, it unlocks your controls. The second sequence loads the story in code, shows it to the player, and once done, closes the story and locks the controls for the upcoming cutscene. And as you might have guessed, Epiphany manages to squish this down to less than 1.7 seconds. This unlocks his controls during the cutscene, kicking off the sequence break. This shouldn't be possible for a couple reasons. 1, when we fade into the story, it actually locks the controls. And 2, the human element of clicking escape takes time. And you have to hit escape, wait for the menu to open, and then hit skip. That takes time. But if you click this button, there's a microsecond where you can sneak an input in before the code locks controls. And if you do, it will simultaneously load the story and load the skip menu. This saves you just enough time to sequence break. Altogether, this is what it looks like. Okay, pause. What the heck is this? Well, it's a little bit of game dev magic. When we run a cutscene, we actually hide the player and have a clone that has no functionality. It was just easier to animate and look good in cutscenes, but now that Epiphany has broken out, hitting escape unhides the player and lets him roam free while the cutscene plays. All right, time for the second sequence break. At the end of the cutscene, it teleports the player and then runs this cutscene. But here you are, running around like an escaped convict, breaking all the shit I just carefully built.
Oh, you have very little time.
And if you open the fast travel menu, you can trigger another cutscene that takes roughly 4 seconds to play and then teleports the player.
That's so funny because if it wasn't within 7 seconds or whatever of a fast travel box or menu, you couldn't do it. Like, it only works because the cutscene is right next to the fast travel thing. That's pretty clever. They figured that out.
Player. If you do it too early, sure, you'll get teleported to wherever you wanted to go, but you still end up being teleported again to the corrosion zone. And if you do it too late, it will close the fast travel menu before you can trigger anything. But he somehow manages to hit the button in that perfect little window of opportunity. And altogether, this is what you get. Now pay attention because the arrow shows you what you're actually seeing, even though two things are happening at the same time. So he opens up the fast travel menu and he waits. And boom, triggers a second flow while the other cutscene is playing. Now we're waiting. The code overrides and teleports the player again, leaving him at the punk monk.
That's super clever.
So now that he's
I don't know how you
here
figured that out, but that's
and
clever
has
as hell.
unlocked the corrosion resistance recipe, he can grab some mushrooms, craft the resistance, and head straight to the deer station to close out the rest of the game. And despite him not having the perfect run, the innovations he's made has allowed him to crush the competition with an earth-shattering 2 hours and 32 minutes like it's nothing. Nearly an hour faster than CJ Lim's previous time. And with less than a day left, Epiphany remains the Atrio world record holder. Until an hour left.
What?
That's right! It's not over. Dear Lord! This is Anti-Elites, a Factorio speedrunner who has the current world record.
Oh my god, default settings is dead for now.
Oh, the Factorio goat, huh?
That's the most insane run I've ever had, and it didn't die.
And he was on one of our vlogs. But to be clear, I did not ask him to participate. So believe me when I say, nobody saw this run coming. But I knew I was in for a treat, so I recorded my reaction.
Let's start.
What's wrong with the screen? Is our game broken? I don't understand what is happening, or... No. I know what he's doing. Oh my god.
Wait, what is he doing?
Okay, wait. So what he's done is he's changed the resolution to be so wide that he doesn't need to leave the dark in order to access the backpacks out in the dark. And then he just dynamically changed the resolution. Oh, I'm so impressed.
So
you can't even watch this. It's so small. What a sneaky man. Oh, he's going across. Oh, he's collecting everything. He doesn't even need to go across the river. He's taking a spreadsheet break. Voiceover Steven here. So he's using the factories to cheat the supply pod. The top here is Unity's game view, and the bottom is the nav mesh. So when I place a factory, it carves out a section of the nav mesh, so you can't run through that section. So when you build a fortress, you can't get out, but creatures also can't get in. So because he's extending the screen while these are running, he can continue to work on his factory. I mean, I was using the factory strat, but I was just waiting. But look at him, he's literally building his factory while these work. Okay. Oh, look at that. So small on the screen. Wait, oh, and he drags past it. Okay, so because the screen is so wide, when he drags his mouse all the way out this way, it keeps going. But we never designed it for that. Like, most of the time when you're playing full screen, you can't move your mouse. But he can basically, like, cheat and build all the way across the map. This whole widescreen thing is blowing my brains out. Like, this must hurt your eyes. I can barely see anything on the screen. This is insane.
Fucking ridiculous.
Does he even need to go across? Oh, he probably does to get the planter. Okay. But now he gets fast. Oh, now he gets fast travel as well.
Wait, does somebody, is Fuchsia or any Hitman person in here? I recall there was a Hitman strategy like this for Ambrose Island where there's like a cutscene that plays and the cutscene length is tied to your FPS. So the person like cranks resolution to ultra max and graphics to ultra max and like just tanks their FPS. Like they go ultra widescreen, can't see anything, and they're just like blurry and it's laggy as shit, but it allows them to like I remember I saw it and I was like, I hope this never becomes a thing. Because you have to have a shitty PC. Like a shitty PC is a better speedrunning PC for Hitman in that situation. I forget what it was.
Okay, I need to explain some stuff. First, because he's playing with like a 12,000 by 10 pixel resolution, but also everything's been done out of order.
12,000.
So he's just completed section 1 2 minutes ahead. But despite him being here, he's connected the Bulb Man. And he, of course, is skipping the supply pod battle here and then proceeds to the Blood Lake. So you'll notice he's trying to connect the Iris Station without any power, and he's doing this for a reason. Because when he drops this light bulb, it automatically starts the cutscene for the Iris Station. He just interrupted all the combat, which makes the player invincible. And while the cutscene plays,
oh my god,
all the time didn't even have to do it. That's absurd. But of course, he's not done. Now he's teleporting.
That's clever.
He switched to widescreen mode, which means stuff's gonna break. Why is it so thin? That makes me nervous. What's he doing? Now, just to remind you, fast travel drops your inventory, and he does not have the entangled chest. But dismantling a regular chest gives you your inventory back. That's how he teleports without needing items. So now he's at the Bulb Man with all of his items without doing the journey. Creates a
Oh wait, you guys see what he did? Yeah, you can dismantle the chest from across the map and it gives you everything in the... That's crazy.
Factory fortress and builds out his line in complete safety. Now he's done. So that whole time he basically just built while everything else was being blocked by these factories. So he fast travels back to his home base and then heads to the Deer Station, even though he's just finished section 1. So basically he's setting up for the last part of the game, the corrosive section, way before the corrosive section. And we made it so that what is he doing? What is he doing?
What's he doing?
I'll tell you what he's doing. He's connecting the Deer Station just after finishing section 1. And even though he's died, it actually works out in his favor because it respawns him back at home base, where he can finish section 2 and all of section 3. And here's his final masterpiece, his chef's kiss. Wow. Because he's connected all of the stations, when he goes to do the corrosion skip, instead of choosing the Punk Monk, the Deer Station is available for fast travel. Epiphany had managed to impressively cut out like 75% of the corrosion zone, but anti-elites... Oh no, he did screw it up. Did he screw it up? Oh! Just skipped all of it. And he has a clean final section of the run and conquers the Atrio speed run competition with a 2-hour and 2-minute run. Unbelievable. CJ Lim, Epiphany, and...
Not sub 2 hours. Cringe. Slow. I could beat it. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude, but like I would obviously get a 158. If you're gonna push it, you know what I'm saying? Don't dilly-dally. Don't fucking wait around.
Anti-elites took a game that should have taken 20 hours and shattered all of my expectations. I had so much fun with this competition that I've decided for the sake of the speedrun to not fix the bugs. So if you want to run, come join our Discord, and we'll see you next time.
Guys, the game is named after me, okay? Of course I could do it in 158. Don't even need to ask, dude. Atrio. A-T-R-I-O. See how far you'll go. I can beat it. It's like no problem, dude. I'll sing this song. Warworkers 147. That's what I got last week. Yeah, 147. Good call. I forgot. I did it on my alt. And I'm just thinking about my alt's name right now. It is Epiphany. Fuck. Yeah, I did the one earlier in the video, but that was a joke run. And then I did Epiphany, and I got a much better time. So that's that, and nothing more needs to be said. Good video. The Doinkler strikes again. The Doinkler strikes again. Oh, Salmonella! Oh, yeah. So Salmonella is a great educational and funny YouTuber that has existed for a long time and has millions of subscribers. And he hasn't uploaded in 10 months until just this past week. We're going to watch that. Thank you for the... oh, shit. I forgot. We got the good website. Crimps on Sloper in chat has created a brand new Get Smarter Saturdays website right here. And if you drop it in chat, it should show up actually beautifully Right here. How cool is that? Shout outs to Crips on Sloper. I will give you, for solving that problem, VIP. Crimps on Sloper. I need to remember to un-VIP whoever I VIP'd yesterday. I forgot who I did it and why. But I do have to remove it. Fuck. Fuck. I forgot why I did it. Oh yeah, they sent a Bionicle pic. I said, does anyone in chat have a spider Bionicle? And they posted a picture of that, and then they got VIP. That's that. I need to remember who that was. And I need to fucking remove that. That was not a permanent VIP. That was a one-day Bionicle-a-thon VIP. Actually, people were tweeting at me pictures of their Bionicle in front of their monitor watching my stream. I got a bunch of tweets of people being like, the soldiers ride along or something like that. It's like a Bionicle propped up in front of their monitor. Wait, let me see if I can find some. Atrio. See how far you'll get. Here, I'll just grab a picture. Oh. Sleep well, Big A. It's like a fucking Bionicle at hour. By the way, I didn't even. It was 2 hours before I went to bed. Pretty funny. And this guy too. Wait. Atrioc making sure he knows his people's history. And it's like, wait, is that the Bionicle that's being shown on screen right there? The Paraka? Holy shit. That's actually pretty chatted. Anywho, let's watch Salmonella. That's the point I was getting to. Salmonella Academy uploaded a new video, 7 minutes long, about Zhang Zong Chang.
Hey kids, today I've got another character study for you all.
Make sure that wasn't... Oh, that was fine. That was just... I was making sure. That was just... actually, perfect time to mention... I could even show it, I think. Yeah, it's fine. That is the general chat of the brand new Marketing Monday Discord. Not yet open, but we'll be open soon. We'll be open soon as of Monday. If you're interested, but again, I'm being very serious. I just want you to have expectations ahead of time. If you want to lurk and read, that's totally fine, but it is not like a meme Discord. I generally am going to like try to flag people who have any real world experience and they can, and it's like people that are going to talk about, like I've been getting all sorts of cool tips from people that work in the industry. Some guy just told me today, I've been getting all these cool DMs from people that work interesting jobs in the real world. And that is anywhere from like Taco Bell to anywhere. Okay. But this guy works in private equity and he was telling me that like, there's this interesting happenstance of, there's like cartel bosses in South America, right? People that are like rich, either, illegal adjacent or straight up illegal cartel bosses in South America. And they have sons, like almost like princelings, sons that are standing to inherit a ton of their wealth. But they have stipulations in the will or whatever that their sons must have built a business of their own that is a certain size. So in Brazil, there is a frequent and popular trade of investors investing in completely fake scam businesses to get them to a certain equity valuation level to qualify so that these princelings can get their inheritance, at which point the investors get whatever they're back, And then they did. The business is completely fake. So it's like a very interesting idea. And again, I have to research more into it, but I would love to learn more. And if there's any truth that, or like enough to talk about, it would be a great video. I don't know. And that's one of like many things I've been hearing. There's people that live in China that give me some interesting things. And so I wanted to make a Discord to kind of put all these people together and like talk about stuff and ask questions. So it's going to be, I'm trying to keep it open to the public, but I may end up not doing that. It depends if people ruin it. That's the whole thing. So, can we do insider trading on the Discord? You will almost certainly lose money, so fucking feel free, brother. You are gonna fucking, however it is, you'll do it wrong. All right, let's see.
A man known as Zhang Zhengshang. In 1881, he was born into poverty in the Shandong region of China. His father was a head shaver. Not a barber, mind you. If a head shaver's a barber, then a ditch digger's an architect. He also moonlit as an alcoholic. His mom, meanwhile, was a literal practicing witch and exorcist. Already a recipe for success. Zhang joined a group of roving bandits at age 20, as one does, right around the Xinhai Revolution, where the Qing dynasty was overthrown and the Republic of China was established. But in
Sorry, he's coming in strong. Let me catch up. This is about Zhongchang. His dad was a head shaver. His mom was a witch. There was a revolution, and he joined a gang. Okay, I'm just catching up because he was coming at me fast. Let me go back.
Xinhai Revolution, where the Qing dynasty was overthrown and the Republic of China was established. But in 1916, the kidneys of the nation's widely disliked monarchist leader done shat the bed, causing a power vacuum that ultimately led to what is known as the warlord era of the Republic. During this time, different regions of China were constantly shifting hands between a collection of separate military groups, all of whom were ruthless both to each other and to the people they ruled over. And through charisma, favors to the right people, and a keen sense of military pragmatism, our humble highwaymen soon came to be one of these warlords. Now, Zhang was quite skilled as a leader of war. After the Russian Civil War, he recruited thousands of fleeing white Russians, not beverages, but Bolshevik butchers, which bolstered his battalions and brought big bonuses to his bloodshed. He also made efficient use of armored trains, which proved to be highly cost-effective at transporting large amounts of troops and supplies. But that's not what you people care about. You want some clownage. Well, rest assured, Zhang was quite the character. Now, we all know the age-old debate between positive and negative reinforcement. On the one hand, if you treat people well, you'll probably get the same treatment back later down the line. But on the other hand, nobody's ever taught a tiger to jump through flaming hoops with just pets and temptations. And if you think that's messed up, that's because, well, yeah, it is. Circuses are fucking evil. But like all great leaders, Zhang knew how to appropriately apply both the carrot and the stick. As an example of the former, he defeated the forces of enemy General Wu Peifu largely by convincing members of his army to defect, with the promise that they could keep their original rank after switching sides, which he fulfilled. But then he was like, yeah, I don't know if my loyal men would be too happy about being outranked by strangers. Well, only one solution here. All my guys are ranking up. Problem was, so many officers were promoted that Zhang literally ran out of gold and silver to make new insignias. He was like, I gotta think about this. Went out for a smoke, looked down, hey, wait a minute, and had the rest of the emblems made out of the colorful foil found in cigarette packages. It said that during the promotion ceremony, people...
That's so depressing. To fight for a guy for years, and he gives you a fucking cigarette foil badge. You're an officer now. Man's a problem solver.
People would look down and notice their little star already had a rip in it before the event was even over. But hey, there's still a colonel or poobah or whatever now, they can't complain. On another occasion, he proudly announced that he would either win an upcoming battle or return home in his coffin. And though Zhang was many things, he was not a liar. So after he ended up retreating, his men paraded him through the streets in a casket while he waved and chiefed on a cigar. So you're probably wondering why they called him the dog meat general. At this point, my head was swimming with lurid fantasies about him eating dog flesh or wearing dog flesh or eating dog flesh. Turns out, nah, he was just real into pai gow, of which the act of playing was colloquially referred to as eating dog meat. And also because he ate dogs. He was also sometimes jokingly referred to as the three don't knows, since he didn't know how much money he had, how many concubines he had, or how many men were in his army. Well, funny, there was some truth to the nickname, which did sometimes cause issues. Some were minor. For one, he had a lot of trouble remembering the names of the 30 to 50 women of all nationalities in his harem, but he got around this by just assigning them numbers. Number 4 is real flexible, 27 makes a killer quiche,
insane.
Watch out for 14, she's a biter, and so forth. Other times, things got a little more dire. Later in his career, Zhang became the military governor of the province of Shandong, and while the warlord life suited him, domestic affairs were another story. Rampant human rights violations aside, the whole thing was just way poorly managed. For example, while Zhang did collect taxes on everything from theater performances to tobacco examination licenses, relatively little of his extortions went towards his war efforts or anything practical, with most of it being funneled into vanity projects and his own personal riches. So how did he fund his army? Well, for those playing at home, it's time to take a shot, because Zhang printed tens of millions of dollars worth of paper money in the form of military stamps with no reserve to back them up. Obviously, massive inflation ensued, but Zhang just said, "No," insisted the stamps had a 1-to-1 conversion with real.
Bring this guy back, dude. We need someone like this. Bring this guy back, dude. He's got solutions for these problems. He knows how to handle it. What was that? Just him shitting money, I suppose?
Money, and continued paying his men at the same rate. Fortunately for them, the invisible hand of the market is no match for the very visible fist of the soldier, because they just kick old merchant ladies' asses till they accepted the currency at face value. But unfortunately, kicking old ladies' asses can't solve everything. In the summer of 1927, Shandong was hit with a famine caused primarily by drought. At the time, many people prayed to Zhongxian, a folk deity.
Yeah, I mean, that is essentially a government price cap, which I don't know if I've talked about, but like price caps don't work because if you force people to accept worthless money for stuff, what they do is they just stop selling things. They stop building the supply chain to get the thing to the store to sell it to you. Or they start a very convenient black market to sell it at what it should cost. It never lasts. You can never. Price caps just don't work. I mean, just they don't. The store owner is not incentivized to follow your
in an attempt to bring rain to these crusty lands. But Zhang Zhongshang, he don't get on his knees for nobody. He walked right up to the statue in Xian's temple, starts bitch slapping it, tells it to go fornicate with its sister, and then has his artillery crew fire shells straight into the sky for hours on end to show that god who he's dealing with. Sources differ on when the next rain was, but it did eventually rain, so in the end, Zhongshang got the last laugh. Speaking of which, our boy was also a renowned poet. Here's a piece he wrote about that very event. The sky god is also named Zhang. Why does he make life hard for me? If it doesn't rain in 3 days, I'll demolish your temple. Then I'll have cannons bombard your mom. Truly prophetic. He's got a few other good ones too. Let me just dim the lights real quick. Yeah.
I mean, that is just kind of based in that I've never heard of an ancient general threaten the gods. Or not even ancient, artillery. But that's not really ancient. Yeah, 1920. Well, 1920s is ancient to you guys because I feel like I'm young and I was born in the 1920s. But that's very funny. That's the plot of the Odyssey.
This one's called Visiting Mount Tai. From afar, Mount Tai looks blackish, narrow on top and wide at the bottom. If you flipped it upside down, it would be narrow at the bottom and wide on top. I like that one a lot because it's like he heard about metaphors without realizing they're supposed to have a second meaning. This one's titled Poem About Bastards. You tell me to do this, he tells me to do that. You are all bastards. Go fuck your mother. Poignant. But unlike most poets besides E.E. Cummings and Emily Dickinson, Zhang was quite well endowed. He was often referred to as General 86,
honestly, you know, a lot of poetry gets lost on the average person. That is a timeless thought that many can relate to. That probably applies to more people than most poetry. No, I just have glizzy hands.
Jr. stood up straight. He could reportedly reach the length of 86 Mexican silver dollars stacked atop one another. Given a thickness of 2.4 millimeters, this would put him at around 20.6 centimeters or 8.1 inches. That's especially impressive given that he was likely malnourished during puberty due to both poverty and the 1896 famine. You racists. I thought of a few other jokes about this, but I couldn't fit them in the narrative, so I'll just rattle them off. Should have been called the horse meat general. When he got out of the pool, he was General 12. This one just says dong hung dong. You get the point. But all great things must eventually come to an end. After suffering a series of defeats at the hands of his enemies and a subsequent failed rebellion against a quickly reunifying China, Zhang was forced to run away in 1928, bringing his mom with him to Beppu, Japan. His time here was relatively uneventful, except for when he shot a former prince in the back for trying it on with one of his concubines. In court, he said the gun just happened to go off while he was pointing it at the center of the guy's mask. For some reason, they're like, nothing suspicious here. Gave him the choice between 15 days in prison or a $150 fine. He chose the latter. Zhang's story finally came to an end in 1932 when he went back to Shandong.
Well, $150. That I mean, it's only $2,600 today. That's actually not that bad. I thought it was going to be like 100K or something. Yeah, it's like 3K.
Not as a conqueror, but as a visitor. Unfortunately, it seems it takes people more than 4 years to get over murder, because he was unceremoniously assassinated by the nephew of an officer that he had executed. All in all, Zhang left behind quite a strange legacy. Given the litany of horrible crimes that I've seemed to kind of gloss over, he's generally regarded as the stinkiest stain of an already messy portion of the tapestry that is Chinese history. The only remaining question is if one can truly separate the art from the artist. During his rule, Time magazine described him as China's basest warlord. I'll let you decide whether or not they forgot the DE. That's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and I'm hiding in your fridge.
Oh, well, speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. Let's see here. It's 9:09. I think we'll watch one more video, and then perhaps we'll watch a certain video about a certain irrational doctor who has some unorthodox methods for saving his patients. That's the plan, I think. So need... It's going to be Scrubs for 2 hours. Need one more good video, but I want to grab a little snackaroo before I watch it. As a reminder for everyone here, I usually don't stream on Sundays. I'll be doing a very short stream tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific to bring on Duck Bricks, the world's greatest Lego collector, and the creator of a 9-hour video on Bionicle lore to answer any questions we possibly have. Duck Bricks will be joining the stream. He seems super nice. We talked on Twitter. Duck Bricks is coming. Surprise guest tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific, till probably like 5 p.m. It's going to be a pretty short stream, but it should be fun. If you have any questions at all or any fun things you want to see, let me know, because he's going to be streaming from his collection, which is absurd. Shouldn't you be the one quizzing him? I feel like you're the expert. I think I will quiz him. I think I'm going to use my limited Bionicle knowledge to quiz him and see if he can keep up with me. All right, let's see what we got. Here on Muddled. Is Crisis secretly a Bionicle game? A comprehensive investigation? No, the answer is no. The math behind the unluckiest moments in all of Pokemon is interesting. Conan O'Brien killed a guy. If this is true, I don't want to watch it because I love Conan O'Brien and it'll make me really sad. And if it's not true, it's 48 minutes long, so it's not worth it. So I'm going to live in the liminal space between knowledge or not, and I'm not going to look into it. How far can you get in BTD6, the final answer? It's actually kind of interesting, but I don't think I'd learn. I kind of want to watch this on my own. Maybe I'll watch it on stream. Just not today. Hold on to this one. How to get hoes in middle school. I think nobody here should be watching this unless you are in middle school, and in which case, don't call them hoes. All physics explained in 15 minutes. Worth remembering? That could be interesting. But I already have a physics master, so why would I need that? Rethinking Netflix's trash TV. Can you beat Pokemon Fire Red while blind and deaf? If for whatever reason I am struck both blind and deaf, my first act will not be to try and beat Pokemon Fire Red. So I'm not too concerned with this as a useful application. That video is insane. It's just 47 minutes, bro. Lego Ninjago Retold. Maybe we should watch Mr. Beast, bro. Maybe we just watched Mr. Beast himself, you know? We're not above it. We're not above it. Bro, we're not. I'm going to watch it because you guys are acting like we're too. Mr. Beast is the GOAT of YouTube, and I want to see what he's cooking. I feel like I don't get to watch enough Mr. Beast. He's got a fucking massive team. By the way, I do want to do a video, actually. Legitimately. I have notes for it and everything. I've been chipping away at it. I'm just going to give you I'm going to tell you. I'm just going to tell you because it'll like inspire me to finish work on it. I have been working on a video about how Mr. Beast might be one of the best anti-monopoly forces we currently have. And how he has been making serious progress in breaking the fucking Hershey's chocolate monopoly that operates in insidious and unknown ways. And because of his massive YouTube platform, he is the first person in like a fucking century who has been able to crack a little bit into this chocolate monopoly they've had on shelf space and everything else. So I think it's actually interesting. It's a bit of a, clickbait title, but he's running in, because Mr. Beast is like just a young guy with a ton of money and a big channel. And as he's doing this, he's running into a lot of regulatory and, vested interest obstacles that are set up by Hershey's to keep competitors out. But because he has such a big fucking channel, he's kind of outflanking it. It's very interesting. So I'll talk about it, but I'm going to watch this fucking video, all right? Let's see.
We're going on a $250,000 vacation.
And the thing I want to watch is not the $250,000 vacation, which I think is, doesn't he go on like $50 million yachts and shit? It's kind of small. I feel like he's bringing a whole crew. $250K? Broke, dude. Is Mr. Beast broke? This just in. Does it make me a capitalist if I don't like Feastables bars? No, it's not about the quality of the chocolate. It's about the fact that like I'm like giving my whole thesis right now. Just wait for it, dude. I'm working on it. Just wait for it. I think you'll like the conclusion. It's not like a fucking Mr. Beast's Jesus Christ thing or anything, but it's just like it uses him as a way in to a story about monopolies. Let me cook. Just let the fucking cook the stuff simmer. All right, let's watch this.
This is beautiful. How is this real? And I'm going to show you the difference between this and a 100,000.
I'll say right at the beginning, the best vacation I've ever been on is Tulum, Mexico, with my fiance at the time, Ari. And what was cool about it is there's these big sinkholes. Well, what was cool about it is I asked her to marry me and she said yes. That's the coolest part, obviously. But not everyone that goes there can do that. All right, the second coolest part is there's these big sinkholes called cenotes, which have crystal clear water and they go deep like underground and you could swim in them and they're super fucking fun. And I had a blast. Like they were just really, you could like dive into them and it's hype. It was really cool and it was really fun and the weather was great.
$1,000 presidential vacation.
Right this way, sir.
A $50,000 vacation where we have the Eiffel Tower completely to ourselves.
I'm holding on for dear life.
All the way down to this $1 vacation.
Right over here, boys. This shack is our vacation.
You can see inside of it.
There's no walls, Jimmy.
Well, there's walls.
This is gross. And in case you don't believe me, it's $1. Look at that. Oh, it's 93 cents. You're a liar. I rounded up to $1. For $1, we get this bed,
which is honestly just a mattress sitting on wood planks, a broken cabinet, a light that sort of works.
Oh, look at that.
And lastly, random noises coming from your ceiling.
I was hearing noise in the room, and there's a raccoon on our roof. I feel like most people would be mad if their hotel room had a raccoon, but for some reason, we're happy. When's checkout time?
Cute.
Tomorrow. Keep in mind that later in this video, we're going on a $100,000 vacation, a $250,000 vacation. Can we just jump cut to that already? No, because we gotta suffer so they can compare our suffering to our happiness.
I like that. That's a little thing called signposting that I don't do enough in my videos. Where like, if you have some really interesting part of your video, you have to kind of put a signpost for it early so that people don't click out. So they know it's coming. They have something to, but I don't ever do that enough. Good call, Mr. Beast, for retention.
They do like when we suffer.
By the way, House MD coming up after this. Can't wait to watch House MD later after this Mr. Beast video. Hilarious network TV show. Very fun. I'm learning. See, I'm learning. This gets smarter Saturdays.
Are we all supposed to fit on this single bed?
If we wanted 4 beds, that'd be $4.
First, let's get all the sand out.
The raccoon just ran in here.
I'm gonna act like I didn't scream like a little girl.
Up next, a vacation that's 10,000 times more expensive. Welcome to the $10,000 a night vacation.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Yo, this is sick.
Wait. It's funny they did the $1 one for, what, like a minute or something? Just to, like, start the video. But, like, then they skipped every vacation that a regular family would take in their entire life. Like, for most of us and almost anyone else, they're going to be in the window between 1 and 10K. And that's completely skipped over. We are... There's 30 seconds of one. I mean, I guess, you know, watching Mr. Beast, like, go to Disney World with his family and have, like, a regular time is not good YouTube video content. So I don't blame him. It's just, like, that's what most of us are ever going to do.
Hey, what the heck is this? This hotel room has jellyfish.
Okay, that's so unnecessary.
Oh, there's a pool outside.
It's a private pool.
Does this not look like a scene from a movie? Your hotel room walks out to the beach. Wow.
Is this our own private beach?
Oh my gosh.
This is incredible.
The problem is I can't believe his enthusiasm because he has seen so much incredible shit, right? Like, didn't he own an island or something at one point? And, like, has been on a bazillion dollar yacht off the coast of, like, I can't tell if he's, like, truly excited to have, like, a walk to the beach.
Since when is water this blue? I don't know.
This all-inclusive vacation also has a giant spa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
A park filled with flamingos.
Oh, they're fighting.
Flamingos.
Man, that spa was cool.
Unlimited room service.
Okay, what do you need?
All of it.
The only negative of this place is it doesn't have a raccoon.
Hey, little guy.
But I don't blame them for that.
When you spend $10,000 at this resort, we each get our own floor of the building.
It looks exactly like
Very
Jimmy's,
nice.
except for I got the top floor.
Oh, I have a hammock.
I think I can make it in the hammock without getting wet.
Damn, that's really
I
nice.
did it. Yo, look at your view. Chris! Hey! Ow! I caught it! 3, 2, 1. Hey!
All right, let me lay out some rules. Rule number 1.
Yeah.
No more throwing pillows in my pool. Rule number 2.
Sorry, Tariq.
And now what the hotel is known for.
This insane infinity pool that extends over our own personal beach.
How does the water just not overflow? I have
Magic.
so many questions.
The Force.
I feel like a father that took his kids on vacation and is just watching them hang out in the pool.
The $10,000.
That actually looks really hype. That actually looks fucking sick. Makes me want to do it. Chat, why don't we all do that, huh? Let's all take a vacation together. You guys want to go to the infinity pool? We'll split it. We'll split it 4,000 ways, okay? Everyone pitch in. Just, you know what? Just sub now and we'll figure it out later. We'll figure out a split. Every single person sub, and we'll just, that's $2 each. It'll add up. It'll be fine. It'll all be fine. Many hands make light work. $2.5 each. Yep, it'll all add up. And thank you for the sub. Can't wait to see you there. Bispender, thank you for the prime. Watanabe, 5 gifted. You get the top floor. GFuel.com, thank you for the 10 months. I will see you on the beach, my friend. Twitch Lasagna, thank you for the 18 months. See you in the pool. Curry, okay, I'm not doing this for everybody. Oh, the librarian. I keep forgetting Watanabe's the librarian. Thank you for the gifties. Big fan of the librarian's work.
Our vacation has been insane, but not as insane as our next vacation all the way across the planet.
And now the $50,000 vacation in Paris.
Whee! Baguettes. Our $50,000 vacation starts with a completely private.
What is the librarian? He's a guy that handles Northern, like he does Northern Lion's YouTube, or he has his own. He has his own separate Northern Lion YouTube channel, but it's like the edits are really good. They're like better than Northern Lion because he doesn't edit. So like if you're a fan of Northern Lion, it's like good stuff. And to be honest, I like Northern Lion a lot, both as a person and as a creator, but I don't like watching long VODs unedited. So I prefer library stuff a lot because I don't have time for. So it's cool.
Luxury ferry ride.
What is that?
That's the engine.
Bro, what is this, 1805? Tariq, zoom in on that guy. He's filming us. Hey!
They went back.
Do you have a YouTube channel? I don't think he speaks English.
This vacation comes complete with fantastic food, a tour of the entire city,
all right,
and a luxury hotel room with an amazing view.
Okay, am I sorry? This looks worse than the last one, and it cost 5 times as much. Like, this is the Europe tax, bro. What? I'm eating frog legs in gray-ass Paris? $50,000? And plus, the Parisians are going to hate me because I'm a tourist. Dude, I've been a tourist in Paris. And that was when I lived. I was basically a European citizen. I lived in Germany for years, and I visited Paris, and they were still kind of like, ugh, to my family. Oh, wait, 5 seconds? Okay, we're only 6K in. I'm sorry. Still 6K, bro.
This is kind of romantic, huh? Yeah. You and Chandler should kiss.
And lastly, we have a very expensive surprise.
So you guys are probably wondering, it's a $50,000 vacation, and we clearly haven't spent 50 grand yet.
Yeah, where is it?
It's behind you.
That's the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
We have the entire Eiffel Tower completely to ourselves.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
What portion of the 50 grand was the tower?
Almost all of it.
We are at the Eiffel Tower.
This feels like we're sneaking in.
No, I'm not joking. It's ours.
No one else is here.
We can just go straight through the line.
This feels illegal.
Most of the time, this place is packed with people. And because we have the whole thing completely to ourselves, we're gonna try to get to the top of the tower. I'm talking the very top.
Boys, enough playing around. Let's head up.
On the way up, we stopped at the first floor, over 187 feet in the air, where we had a world-class restaurant.
I mean, you can do this during the day normally. You don't have to buy the tower. You can go to the top. They let you do it. I've done it. I did it. We did it with my family for like $12. It's a little scary though. I mean, I'm not afraid of heights, but it doesn't feel because it's so old. I don't know. When you're up at the top, it just feels like. Oh, watch.
All to ourselves.
I love how even though we have the entire Eiffel Tower, they still put us in a corner of the restaurant. That's the elevator coming from the top of the Eiffel Tower. That looks terrifying. Open sesame. Thank you. I can see my house from up here.
We're in France.
I can see my hotel from up here.
Look how high up we are. Oh, my ears are popping.
What are we working with here? Oh my God.
You can see the whole city from here. Dude, this is crazy.
Tariq, look how much higher we have to go. Bro, this is never gonna end. I'm not gonna lie, I thought
there's some part where you're on stairs. That's what I remember. Is like you're on stairs and there's not really like it doesn't feel like there's like enough guardrails, and you can see way down and it's really scary. I don't remember where I just.
We are already at the top.
We're going up.
Now we're heading to the top. At one point, this was the tallest building in the world.
Should I jump right now?
No, do not move. Come on, boys, follow me. From here on out, there's no more elevators, just stairs.
Okay, well.
Oh, it's windy up
Pre-watch,
here. We are
pre-watch, pre-watch, pre-watch,
Oh
pre-watch.
my God.
Pre-watched.
Oh my God.
Oh, Tariq, don't drop the camera.
We are standing over 900 feet in the air.
Pre-lived,
the
dude.
highest point civilians are
Pre-lived.
allowed on the tower. But since it's ours for the night, I had one last surprise.
What do you think's behind this door?
Stairs.
How'd you know?
We can see the stairs.
Well, yes, there are more stairs, but this takes us to the very top where no one's allowed to go.
Oh.
God. Oh my gosh.
The Mr. Beast privilege.
Bro.
Oh my God. Are we allowed on that?
I don't know. Oh, that is scary. The ledge just comes up to my waist up here. I'm holding on for dear life.
I completely understand why tourists are not allowed up here.
We have a cameraman on the other side of the city with
spooky.
a lens zoomed in on us. He's over a mile away. If this lens is good enough, you should be able to see us waving. For a $50,000 vacation, you gotta admit this is cool.
This is amazing.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Are you ready?
That's not worth it. Bro, I'll keep the 50 grand. That's fine. I mean, it's just a high building. It's fine. That's not 50 grand, dude. You could have like 50 grand. You could live like a king for like months in an island, tropical island. You could just have a fucking, you just have a fucking absolute paradise trip for a long time.
Ready for the best moment yet. I don't know why a YouTuber has this much power, but lights! Oh, there we go!
Oh, shit.
It's like a disco show. Holy cow!
I'm sure Parisians love this. American YouTuber Mr. Beast bought the tower for a night and lit everything up. That is their dream, dude. That's what they fucking love. That's what they, every night they eat their croissant, they look up to the sky and they pray that an American YouTuber will take over their monument. And make that shit sparkle.
Oh. Guys, I don't know if this next command's gonna work, but turn every light off. Oh.
It's pitch black.
Your country is ours now.
What are these millions of French people thinking right now? They should get me off this tower. I don't know why they gave me this much control.
You should turn on the lights in the outline of the Statue of Liberty. And then put 4 American flags up, dude. Let that shit fly.
Next, we head to Switzerland for the $100,000 vacation. But this is no ordinary vacation. This hotel has 2-inch thick bulletproof windows, a panic button that will lock down the entire building, and is riddled with security. Because this is a hotel where world leaders and presidents take their vacation. And also, the Sidemen were in town, so I decided to invite them as well.
Oh my God. It smells like food in here.
We've got the whole ocean in there.
What? This is nuts.
This is the most expensive penthouse suite in all of Europe. It covers the whole 8th floor and has dozens of rooms, tons of staff waiting on you all day and night, and absolutely crazy food everywhere.
Want a hit? Yeah, get a hit of that.
Oh, yeah. How do these guys compare to your normal guests? Yeah. So you'd say they're pretty dumb compared to them.
And like I said before, some of the most powerful world leaders choose this place for their vacations.
Even Bill Clinton stayed here, and he wasn't assassinated. It's pretty safe.
In terms of security here.
Is that a threat? Why did he say it like that? What? He implied like, oh, that was weird.
You have the bulletproof windows.
Even this is bulletproof? Oh my, it feels thick.
Really solid.
I hope. I'm a president.
There are also some snipers that we can put on the rooftop.
You have your own sniper?
Are you able to negotiate on behalf of the Sidemen?
I can try my best.
Yes, this will help me in my negotiation. I'd like to buy 10%.
How much, boys?
No, you go, you say.
200 million, Jimmy.
200 million. All right, to the panic button.
Oh no. I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting to press this button since we got here.
We all agree this is a good idea.
No.
Carl, you're Bill Clinton and you feel threatened. Press the panic button. All right, he pressed it.
They play the actual
I see
alarm?
a door closed.
Wait, are we locked in?
Is it
that-
locked?
You guys in there?
Is that Nolan?
Yeah. The door's like shut. I walked off for 1 second.
Which button opens it?
You don't get to panic and then open it.
If you push the button now, the police will come and there's a big fine.
Don't press it again.
I've been thinking, how would a president get somewhere like McDonald's?
Let's see how presidents travel. Come on in.
It
Oh, they got
turns
a
out
poker
when
game,
you're
that's
the
cool.
president, you have to go everywhere with your bodyguards, so that means when you drive...
Oh, we got like a
Oh, we got an entourage.
Okay.
How do we know which car to get into?
On the third, on the fourth.
Ideally the third or fourth, you said? Which car is the most dangerous?
The first one.
Nolan, you should ride in the first one.
I can do that.
Okay. Who wants to ride with me? Harry, come on in. Harry and Chandler.
I'm sure the president doesn't sit in the middle.
Typically, you guys would be my bodyguards, but, you know, you'll suffice.
Just squeeze in, mate. Squeeze in. What president is going to McDonald's?
Does your window roll down? Hey, how's it going?
What do you mean what president's going to McDonald's? Trump just fucking... Trump at McDonald's like every third day, dude. He had a fucking... It was like a big advertisement. He put it... That just happened. And I'm sure Biden would like one, but as someone said, like, it would kill him. Biden eats 2 Big Macs. He's goner, bro. He's got to have fucking Metamucil and ice cream to stay alive.
No, now we're gonna get shot. Now we're gonna get shot.
I can't believe we can do this.
This is nuts.
Turns out when you travel in a presidential motorcade, a lot of people start to notice you.
How's it going?
This is bonkers, man.
I love how we're just drawing the attention of everyone.
People are filming like with the president. This is weird.
Which made McDonald's a little awkward.
Excuse us. Don't mind our security.
Unironically, though, Mr. Beast probably needs more security than most world leaders. If Mr. Beast drove through LA right now, he would be in way more danger than like the president of Germany or the Netherlands. Nobody would know who that is because America doesn't know any other world leaders. But like if Mr. Beast is there, he's in trouble. That's a real dangerous situation.
Security. Jimmy, does this beat out the Eiffel Tower for you?
Depends how good these nuggets are.
Obviously, all the vacations so far have been amazing, but they pale in comparison to this next one. Our final vacation is once again all the way across the planet. And now we're...
Well, you guys are right. I know people said that, but I didn't notice it. Why does it nuke a location every time he leaves in a global stage? Why does he keep flying around the world nuking it onto the next one?
We're in Japan for the $250,000 vacation.
And we're meeting up with a special guest here, so you're gonna wanna watch to the end. To start off our vacation, we dropped off our bags at the most expensive hotel in all of Japan.
This is gigantic. I have an Echo in a hotel.
Wait, is this the Park Hyatt? If this is the Park Hyatt, that'll be pretty Giga Chad for me because I stayed here for 2 nights. I stayed here for 2 nights. Obviously not in the fucking Giga Chad suite, but in a nice room. And it was by far the nicest hotel I've ever been to in my entire life. It was kind of a little treat for myself and Ari because February was a hard month for us, obviously. And so we stayed there because it was the Lost in Translation Hotel. And it was very pricey, don't get me wrong. But I remember the breakfast at the Park Hyatt is just like one of the best meals I've ever had in my entire life. And they had like, I mean, obviously amazing Japanese food and amazing chefs, but they also had like an extremely European looking guy. Just like the most European chef looking stereotype come to our table and offer like handmade muffins. All I can say is it felt like, I don't know. He just came and he spoke in like a thick European accent and he's like, do you want any? I can't do it. And he made us muffins. Anyway, it was all delicious. The whole thing was delicious. It was pandering.
And afterwards, we felt like getting to know the city of Tokyo. Now we're gonna drive Mario Karts on the street.
Cool.
We rented private Mario Karts where we literally get to drive on the streets of Japan.
Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift.
This is not meant to be on a street.
There's real cars driving right beside me. Well, look how many people are crossing the street here.
This is the busiest crosswalk in the world, and we're driving right through it.
Oh yeah. Also at the Park Hyatt Hotel, they asked like what they just like before we got our room, it wasn't like a check-in desk. It was like we sat down like to get a bank loan. It was like in a nice office with his nice marble desk, and the guy's just talking to us about our lives before he gives us our keys. And he asks like what I like to read or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I read the Financial Times. And then the next day in the morning, there's a copy of that day's Financial Times at our door, which was sick. It was sick. I mean, it was a really nice fucking restaurant, I'll be honest with you. I mean, a nice fucking hotel.
Go-karts in Tokyo! Bro, I love Japan. This place is crazy.
When we arrived at our next destination, we met with Master Swordman Yoshioki Somida. He's been training with the katana for the last 26 years, and he actually agreed to give us a rare lesson in the art of the samurai. We each got our own katanas, and the lessons began with swinging techniques. It was not as easy as we thought.
Okay, I think I was gonna do this. My understanding is this is like in a mall. This might be a different one. I could be wrong, but my understanding is this is in a mall, and it's like he does 100 of these a day. Like he does these, they're in and out. They got like 15. Like they do it all the time, and there's like it's like a museum in a mall. Yeah, like this could be a different guy. This could be a different guy, but this is like the one we were looking at was like the famous one.
No, they're gonna zoom in on it.
Then it was my turn.
Boys, do you think I'm gonna be able to do this?
Yes.
Yeah, you got it.
Giga Chad.
Hey!
Let's see how the boys do.
I'm not poor shaming Mr. Beast. I'm just saying if you go to Japan and it's not going to cost, you could do this. They'll put you in the I don't know, kimono or gear, whatever it is, and give you the sword, teach you how to use it, and you cut the thing. Like this, a lot of people do this.
And then our samurai teacher gifted us this insane katana.
I don't deserve this, but thank you.
And because this is a $250,000 vacation, we rented out the most premium sushi
Oh,
chef
shit.
in the world, along with
Now
this
this-
entire floating restaurant.
This is probably insanely expensive. This no one could do. Sushi stuff, from when I looked at it, is like the prices can get absurd. It was way out of my, like the high end, the really high end sushi stuff is like all for ultra wealthy people. All the really elite food stuff is where the cost was crazy.
Got Louis Vuitton coasters.
The chef makes all the food right next to our table, and getting to see a master at work was one of the coolest dining experiences ever.
Woo!
That looks good.
Wow. Oh my God. Oh. They said we could feed the birds tuna. Here you go, little man. See how we caught him midair?
And once we paid the bill,
Thank you.
we were off to the craziest place I've ever been.
All right, follow me. I rented this whole place.
But before we see it,
Socks off. This is
I did
basically
this.
an art museum.
Wait, this is crazy. This is a $250,000 vacation. This is basically my vacation with art. It did not cost us $250,000. I did this exactly. This is the Team Labs. Hey, babe. I got. Ari. Babe, come here. Come on stream. Babe, Mr. Beast made a video where he's talking about $1 versus $250,000 vacation, right?
Yeah.
And it starts out with a really cheap vacation and it gets better and better and better.
Okay.
His last ultimate one is in Japan.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
And what does he do? He goes to the Park Hyatt Hotel, and then he goes here. Look at this. Do you remember this?
But for experience.
That's what I'm saying. What is Team Labs? What's it called?
Yeah, it's Team Labs Tokyo.
Yeah, Team Labs Tokyo.
time processing it.
You think this is what it looks like when you die?
He is literally just filming our exact vacation, and it's like the end of his 80 million view video. That's crazy.
Wait, like what's crazy about it? Because everyone goes there.
That's what I'm saying, but nobody knows. Not everyone goes there. Like people that.
Yeah, like even random ass people on my IG feed go there.
That's what is funny to me. All right.
Did he go to Kyoto?
Oh, he rented it out though. He did rent it out for himself.
Okay, that's pretty special.
Because ours is pretty packed.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It's like normal pack.
That's just really funny to me. This is very funny to me.
It is funny. Like now, even more people are gonna go to Japan.
Yeah. All right, so I just wanted to show you because it's like a huge thing
Is
in
this
this
like a
video,
new
but like
video?
we just did that like casually. What?
Is this a new video?
Yeah, just came out like right now.
Fun. Okay.
Probably.
What is this next row?
normally this place is completely full of other people, but we secured the place entirely for ourselves.
This might be one of the best
that's
things we've
pretty
ever done.
Dude, are these fish?
We're in a pool in a museum playing with animated fish. This is the most unique thing you could ever do on a vacation.
Wait, the fish are surrounding us. Look.
How did they know?
No, it's not, bro. It ain't. It just ain't. You have so much money you could do. I mean, there's just no way, bro. Gotta sell the vid. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but like,
Oh, to surround us.
They love us.
They're going everywhere now.
Now you're all probably hungry, which is why we're at this restaurant that is ran by robots. What?
My name is Pepper.
Can we have a seat, Pepper?
Sure. Let's find a comfortable spot.
so we didn't do this, which looks kind of cool. But what we did do was a cat cafe, which I think is cooler, which is where they serve you normal cafe food, but the cafe is full of cats that are like snuggly. And so they come up to you and like they'll sit in your lap. And they'll just hang out with you, and they're like really kind, and then you give them little treats and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then we did a snake cafe, more for Ari, which is the same thing, but you have a big fucking snake, like around your shoulders and shit. And I was like a little bit not so much into that, but Ari liked it.
We reserved the entire place, so the only other people here were the robot waiters.
Food robots here.
Wait, so the food is delivered on a robot?
An oddly fluffy robot.
Pepper's staring really hard at Chandler for some reason.
Pepper does not like
Bro, I did nothing to you.
Everyone, make sure you eat tons of food, because tomorrow I rented an entire theme park, and PewDiePie's gonna be there.
Which is really crazy. You see, PewDiePie and I have a long history.
Mr. Beast. I was wondering.
Bro, that's not unique. Everybody in Japan does the theme park with PewDiePie, bro. We did that too. Okay, everybody rents out the theme park and gets like it's like a fucking rite of passage, dude. He hangs out there all day, 24/7, and it's covered by like $40, and you can just get PewDiePie for a day.
When you would show up.
We helped him in his subscriber race against T-Series.
Grab your phone, go on YouTube, search PewDiePie, and subscribe to him.
Eventually, we even caught up to him.
Mr. Beast has taken over me in subscribers.
I guess I'm getting a taste of my own medicine. That's all right. He definitely deserves it.
And even though we've been friends for a while, we've never actually met in person. And because this is such a long-awaited meetup,
I rented this entire amusement park.
This is Fuji-Q Highland, the park with the scariest rides in all of Japan. It usually has thousands of people waiting in line. But as per usual, I rented the entire thing just for us.
You can ride whatever ride you want. I wasn't done, but he left.
I'm about to go on this entire roller coaster alone.
What you're seeing here is the steepest roller coaster drop in the world.
Yikes.
Are you
Yikes.
scared? Yes! Have fun! I'm scared for it.
Damn, I wouldn't do that. Straight up, that was scary.
Like promised, the father of YouTube, PewDiePie, met us in the park.
Sorry, someone said Mr. Beast is a scary person to be friends with. Like, what the fuck would you do for his birthday? Yeah. What do you get Mr. Beast when he like rents out the fucking amusement park for you? Hey, Mr. Beast, I baked you cookies. Yeah, what can you really do? I don't know. Yeah, here's a gift card. Here's a fucking Best Buy gift card.
A little later than planned because I texted him the wrong day. Sorry, Felix. And he wanted to ride the craziest coaster at the park.
Why are you scared?
I'm so scared of roller coasters.
This one doesn't spin at all.
I'll ride it if Felix rides it.
Let's go!
I'm terrified. I'll do it. I'll do it. If I die on this roller coaster, you guys are gonna feel terrible.
You take your shoes off?
Anything that could fly out.
That's how you know it's bad.
They don't even trust us with shoes on this ride.
You got this.
You'll be fine.
Wow, no shoes is crazy.
This was my worst nightmare.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
I don't want to do this. You're scaring me. Calm down.
Whoa. Whatever you do, don't throw up. I'm terrified. Can we pick a better one? We could have picked a nice, comfortable ride.
I actually have no idea what it is.
At some point, there's a literal 90-degree drop.
You're freaking me out.
What did you sign me up for?
You brought me here.
But what we didn't know was...
Wait, no!
This ride goes backwards.
Oh, that's so fucked up. Oh, that's so fucked up.
Why did I do this?
Oh my God, we're upside down! This is great!
Yeah, that is a crazy one.
Best roller coaster ever!
Oh my gosh, Felix, what did we just do?
I'm crying.
Best roller coaster ever.
I got tears just running down. Well, it's good meeting you, Jamie. I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
We screamed at the first little bump.
What?
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever had a chewy potato before.
That's what you get for passing me.
What would you do?
Felix, I'm sorry for passing you. You don't have to threaten me with violence, so.
They're good.
Yeah, they are good.
That was the 250,000.
That's such a weirdly edited interaction. It feels it's like a reality TV when they cut it back each other to make a conversation. It's like they never spoke.
$1,000 vacation. Felix, can you transition us?
Bro fast.
Oh, nice. Cool video though. Definitely lots to learn. I do like one thing in Mr. Beast videos that I think more YouTubers should do, probably myself included, is like once the good stuff has happened, he just ends. There's no outro. There's no wind down period. There's no like, thanks for watching, check it out. He just like fucking dips, which is good. I mean, it's just better for retention. He's all about retention, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to watch a show called House MD, which has proved to be a very fun show to watch with chat. But before I do that, I'm going to hit the lights and get a snack. So if you'd like to watch along with us, get a snack of your own. We are going to watch one episode of season 3, which has proven to be very fun so far. This season has been banger after banger of just insane over-the-top stuff. And now we are on an episode called Insensitive, where House diagnoses a young woman unable to feel pain. Interesting. If I sub, can we do extra? Why don't you try? Sub right now and we'll find out. Only one way to find out. Okay. Quick snack.